Hello, Mick Network. Welcome to Friday Night Fandom. I'm Will.
I'm Amanda, and this is a show for the people, about the people, all around the Mick Network.
Yes, and for those of you at home, we're going to give you a taste of what our Mick fans are all about.
We have a ton of games planned for tonight, so let's get started.
Yes, our first game is called Find the Challenge. Here we have our beautiful poster board, and our contestants, they're going to flip it up, and if they get a match, they're going to get a challenge. If they get the challenge in under 7 seconds, then they will get a point. They're going to each have 6 rounds, and whoever wins is going to get a Papa John's coupon. So, are you guys ready? You want to start? Yeah? All right. You can go ahead. Yeah. No? All right. There you can go. Did you get that? Yeah? Okay. What is that? Which one? The head? Alright, here we go. Let's see what your challenge is. Lick the tip of your elbow. You have 7 seconds. Go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That is no point, it looks like. Alright, you can go now. Still 0-0. Oh yeah, I think we just did that one. Here we go. Got that one. And we've got another match. Let's see what your challenge is. And they are backwards. Okay, here we go. Send an ugly selfie to the person you recently texted.
7, 6,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
0.
Oh, couldn't even get the selfie. Come on. You got to be quick. All right, you ready? We got ABC. Oh, that's not a match, I see. All right, here we go. Next. 2 people. And we have a match. Let's see what it is. Okay, here we go. Cry like a newborn baby. 7 seconds.
7,
6, 5.
I can't do it.
Come on, 3, 2.
What?
Come on. Oh my gosh, come on. All right, here we go. We just got one more. Let's see. We've got a drop. And oh, a microphone. All right, here we go. Last chance. Let's see if you can. Actually, no, because you started. Here we go. Last one. Go ahead. We've got the music. And the drop. Okay, here we go. Last chance. Let's see if we can get it. Let's see if she knows the match. We've got the ABCs. And can she find it? She got the ABC. And now she just needs to get the challenge. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Sing the alphabet backwards. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, that's going to do it for this challenge. Thank you guys for playing. But now we're going to see what Tyler Locke had to say with Malik Temple for Ben Davis at the 40.
Hey, and welcome into another edition of the 40 with T-Lock. And my guest this week, Ben Davis defensive end, Malik Temple. Malik, how you doing?
Pretty good.
You ready to get started?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. So, as always with this segment, what is your 40 time?
5'2",
How much do you weigh?
285.
Changing the subject a little bit, what is your favorite food?
Chicken Alfredo.
And when you decide to go out to eat, what is your go-to restaurant?
Red Lobster.
Changing the subject a little bit once again, who is your favorite NFL player?
Aaron Donald.
He's a beast. Defensive player of the year. And who is your favorite NFL team?
Colts.
What is playing in your headphones before a game?
NBA Youngboy.
Are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed.
Madden or 2K?
I'm a football player. I gotta go with Madden.
Oh, dope. If you were playing another sport, not football, what would it be?
It'd be basketball.
Definitely basketball?
Yeah.
So what are your goals for this season?
Just for the team to come together and win a state title.
Winning the state title is always a goal. So we're here at the very end. You're one of the most athletic defensive ends in the MIC, if not the state. So what better way to show off your athleticism than a good old-fashioned egg toss? You trying to play?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. That was dope. I'm just elbows. Oh. Hey, we're gonna end it right there. This has been another edition of the 40 with T-Lock here at Ben Davis High School with defensive end Malik Temple. We'll see you next time.
For our next challenge, we are going to show all three of these people a picture, and they're going to try their best to come up with a funny caption for it. Whichever caption we think is the funniest, they win, and they will get a Papa John's coupon. So, let's get started.
Who wants to start? You? All right, here we go. We'll give you 10 seconds. What do you think about that?
My nuts.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
That was strange, but all right, what do you think?
Anyone?
All right. Let's see what you have to say.
Not today, sir.
Hey, that one's pretty good. What do you think?
I think I like Not Today, Sir.
I also like the Not Today, Sir. So, congratulations, you have just won a Papa John's coupon.
Okay, our favorite caption online on Instagram was the electric slide. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms at the MIC Network IN.
Now, let's check out what we were up to at Warren Central with quarterback Kobe Moore in the Fact or Fiction. Yeah, so we're Ben Davis fans. What do you think about tonight's game?
Hey, I think we got it in the bag.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what about score? What do you
Yeah,
think
score
is?
prediction.
We're gonna hit them hard and make them spin.
What's your score prediction?
What's the score?
I think we do good on the score. I think probably about a good 20 at most.
20 up?
As long as they keep their head up, yeah, we can make it.
Okay.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Up to about 20. Yeah.
All right, what about you? What do you think the score is?
I think, yeah, we go up them by 20. That's all we go do. We go beat them.
You're confident. That's good.
What about favorite concession food?
Favorite concession food? I said it wrong. BD Dads. They be having the kebabs.
Oh,
Really?
kebabs.
Oh, okay.
All right, what about you?
Ate them kebabs and that Chick-fil-A sandwich. Fire.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Very nice.
Definitely the Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A sounds
Yeah.
very good right now.
All right. Very nice. Well, Ben Davis, thank you for being here. And let's see what we were doing at Warren Central with Kobe Moore in their newest edition of Fact or Fiction.
Hey, welcome into another edition of Fact or Fiction here at Warren Central High School. My guest this week, Warren Central quarterback Kobe Moore. Kobe, how's it going?
Great.
As always, we always like to combine a little trivia and a little competition. This week, we're going to ask each other 3 trivia questions. They'll be quarterback specific, and the competition is throwing the ball into a bin down there.
All right. What number does Tom Brady wear?
12, and that's a fact.
That's a fact.
Fact, we're 12. All right, first throw. You ready? I'm going to sink it.
All right, my turn.
Yup. Peyton Manning. Fact or fiction? Peyton Manning is a Hall of Famer.
Fact.
Go ahead, throw the ball.
Ask me something else.
Fact or fiction? Russell Wilson wears number 3.
Fact.
Fact.
All right, I'm going to sink this. Fact or fiction? Kyler Murray won a Heisman Trophy last year.
Fact.
All right, go ahead and throw it.
Fact or fiction? Tom Brady will be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, that is definitely a fact. Better be. Last question. Johnny Manziel went to Texas A&M.
That's a fact.
All right, go ahead, throw it.
Here we go. Oh, it's off. Oh, come on, man.
So, I actually won a segment this week for the first time in my life. I'm sorry. What you got to do is, right here, I need you to spin 10 times and then walk the 20 yards if you can. Can you do that for me?
Yep.
Go for it.
10 times. Go.
10 times. Fast as you can. You good, you good. That was awesome. This has been another edition of Fact or Fiction here at Warren Central High School with Warren Central quarterback Kobe Moore. We'll see you next time.
To our next challenge here, it is called Guess the Chocolate. We have our contestants here, and we're going to be feeding them a chocolate that they do not know of, and whoever guesses it right first will they'll get the point. We're going to have 3 rounds, so let's hop right into it. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, so let's get those eyes closed.
Tell me when to open up.
All right,
Ready?
here we go. Open up and ciao.
Baby Ruth.
That is Baby Ruth indeed.
Good job.
Excellent job. You are very good at this. All right, so we've got 1-0 right now, but it's okay. It's all right. You can get this next one, all right? Hey, you think you're gonna get this next one? I think you may.
I'm surprised at how
All right.
fast you guessed that one.
All right,
I got a feeling.
all right, let's get those eyes closed. You ready?
All right.
All right, here we go. Open and go.
Harvey.
No.
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 Yeah. Yes.
Good job.
Awesome job.
1-1.
That means it is 1-1. Now, here we go.
Is it the tiebreaker?
This is our championship round.
Okay.
The winner of the universe right here.
Here we
Are you
go.
guys ready?
Are you ready?
This is epic. Instant classic. All right, eyes closed. All right, let's get them.
Ready?
All right, we're going in. Open 3, 2, 1.
Good job.
You guys are really good at this. Awesome
Good
job.
job.
Thank you guys for playing.
Good job. Okay. Now, football is not the only exciting thing going around the MIC, so we're going to send it to top 5 with Kevin and Riley.
What's up, MIC Network fans? I'm Riley.
And I'm Kevin, and we're here to bring you to Top 5 in Lesson 5.
A show where we tell you the top 5 things happening around the MIC.
In less than 5 minutes, time is ticking, so let's get started.
5. Ellie Settinger.
Ellie Settinger was named LC's Girls Soccer Team Player of the Game.
Congratulations on all the commitment.
Number 4. Ben Davis's Unified Flag Football Team. The Giants swept their game up with a 2-point lead over Carmel, leading them with a 4-0 in the season. That's a team you want to watch out for.
3. The Pike Marching Band. The Red Devils placed 3rd in the Sound of Brownsburg. Congratulations on the practice and commitment.
Number 2. Lawrence North's Cross Country. The Wildcats were the champions in Class 2A at the Browns County at the Ego Invitational. That's a team you want to look out for.
And finally, number 1, Ashley Eck. A senior volleyball player, Ashley Eck was named Indy Star's Female Athlete of the Week. Congratulations, and keep showing us what it means to be a true Trojan.
All right, that wraps it up here for us.
Remember to follow us on all of our social media platforms at the MIC Network IN.
And who knows, maybe you'll be in our top 5 next time.
Once again, I'm Riley.
And I'm Kevin, and we'll see you guys on the next show.
Our fandom tonight.
But we will see you guys again at halftime. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Will, and the game of the week starts now.
You better act like you know. it out. Show it in your game, not what you say, but in the way you play, because that's what it's really all about. Hard work, 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 to the end of the day. Hard work, 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 is the champion way. And find us on the mic, catch us on the mic, because the mic is where the champions play. We coming for the ring, yeah. So you know we not playing when we step up on the scene, and we do it as a team, yeah. If you don't know, trust me, you gon' see. You better act like you know, act like you know, act like you know. You better act like you know, act like you know, act like you know, act like you know. You better act like you know. We coming for the ring, yeah. So you know we not playing when we step up on the scene, and we do it as a team, yeah. If you don't know, trust me, you gon' see. You better act like you know, act like you know, act like you know. You better act like you know, act like you know, act like you know, act like you know. You better act like you know.
Welcome to week 5 of your Friday night football here on the Mick Network. I'm Logan Hunt, alongside joined by Josh Ain, and it is the 95th Circle City Showdown, East Side versus West Side, as the Warren Central Warriors invade hostile territory here with the Ben Davis Giants. We have a good one here, and let's just talk first off about the rivalry in the 95th time we've seen these two teams go at it.
Logan, this rivalry goes back all the way to 1937. There's just so much history with this rivalry. And talking with both coaches this week, they get this presence of this rivalry too, and just get a sense of, how many big names, how many big players came and went through these programs and were just a part of such a historic rivalry.
So this definitely feels like it's bigger than the players that are here right now. We're going to see a lot of alum coming back, filling the stands, watching on the Mick Network as well. This is something where you talk about some of the names that come from both sides, from Ben Davis and from Warren Central. You have guys that have been in the NFL. I mean, this is just an absolute massive rivalry. You get some of the best talent in Central Indiana.
I mean, really, just two historic programs. I mean, like you said, Logan, you have so many big names coming through these programs, like Sheldon Day comes to mind for Warren Central, for Ben Davis. I mean, you have Reese Taylor winning Mr. Football a couple of years ago. So, I mean, just recent and historic names, just that really adds to the level that this rivalry brings to the state of Indiana.
Absolutely. We took at the right now. It's week 5 action. Warren Central comes in 3-1. They're ranked 2nd in one poll. They're ranked 1st in another. And Ben Davis on the opposite side of the spectrum right now, only 1-3 heading into this rivalry. Josh, how did we get here?
I mean, with Warren Central, the key word for them this season has been resiliency. I mean, they took a tough shot to Louisville Trinity back in week 2. That was their first loss in over 15 games dating back to last season. And, what do? They responded. It's probably been the biggest surprise this season. Just you lose all of that talent from last season, and they're still able to, despite the loss in week 2, just pick themselves back up and keep winning football. And then meanwhile for Ben Davis, it's almost been a rinse and repeat of last season. They've just, right when you feel like they get a sense of them coming together, just things happen to fall apart. Like they have missed opportunities, they have penalties, turnovers and whatnot, and for them it's just more missed opportunities than ones that they can capitalize on.
It's interesting you say that. When I talked to Coach West earlier this week, he said he talked to Coach Simmons himself, and they both said it feels like we play 8 out of 10 plays really well, but those other 2 just cost us.
I mean, if you look at Ben Davis last week against Center Grove, they were only down 13-7 against Center Grove late in the first half. They had chances to take the lead right at the end of the first half, but had 2 drop passes that would have wound up for a touchdown, and they could have had the lead heading into the half, and it could have been a completely different ball game. But then when you look in the second half, just a cascade of turnovers, of Trent Gibson fumbling the ball. You give up an onside kick that leads to another Center Grove score, and all of a sudden you're down by 3 scores. So it's just missed opportunities for Ben Davis. And when you fail to capitalize on those, I mean, it just leads to them winding up more on the losing column than the winning column.
And we've talked about the records, we've talked about all the stats, but you throw it all out the door in a rivalry match, especially with these two teams. You look at how these two got here. We've talked about that. What are some of the keys to the game now for Warren Central? Offensively, how do you think they're going to have to attack this Ben Davis defense?
I mean, for Warren Central, you really got to establish that running game. With R.J. Wells, he's done such a good job bringing that leadership and that steadying presence to the offense. And meanwhile, you got a really talented quarterback in Kobe Moore that's just, he has grown so much over the season. And meanwhile, for Ben Davis, they got to limit R.J. Wells on the flip side. And meanwhile, they just got to stop shooting themselves in the foot with these turnovers. If they can execute, they're going to be in this ball game tonight.
And And we're going to look forward to a close matchup here between the Warren Central Warriors and the Ben Davis Giants. 95th Circle City Showdown coming to you right here on the MIG Network.
What if a car company didn't just build better cars, but help build something more, like community, family, futures? We're Honda, and we're building something more right here in Indiana.
Thank Colin Pop Jones. Cumberland, this is Kyle speaking.
They scored touchdowns here. You gotta be able to get these guys off the field to get the game. Nice punt. Yeah.
The MIG Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation Initiative. Thanks to Frontrunner, the MIG Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIG to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hard-working students that make it possible. The MIG Network, led by students, powered by champions.
Thank Colin Pop Jones. Cumberland, this is Kyle speaking. They scored touchdowns here. You gotta be able to get these guys off the field to get the game. Nice punt. Yeah.
The MIG Network Game of the Week is presented by Papa John's, the Indianapolis Marriott East Center, Brand Visions, and Frontrunner Media.
Good evening and welcome to Ben Davis High School, the site of the 95th Circle City Showdown here between the Giants and the Warren Central Warriors. Battle the east side versus the west side. I'm Logan Hunt, alongside joined by Josh Ain. And Josh, we have a couple minutes until kickoff here. We've seen two phenomenal programs with rich traditions coming to this one midway through the week 5 already through the season. And we have what should be an exciting matchup between the 3-1 Warren Central Warriors and the 1-3 Ben Davis Giants.
Well, with the Warren Central Warriors, like we talked about, they're 3-1 heading into the season, and the big word for them this season has been resiliency. And despite the fact that they don't have as many star name athletes as last year, they got a bunch of guys that just come in, do their job, and help execute every single play. And some of the guys that have really stood out this year so far have been R.J. Wells, the running back. You know, like I said, he's been that steadying presence for this Warren Central offense. And meanwhile, with Kobe Moore, I mean, what a story Kobe Moore has had. You know, he was thrown into the starting lineup last second, hadn't played a lick of quarterback since probably his freshman year. And, you know, so far he's put up some pretty decent stats. You know, he's throwing about 50% completion rate, throwing 9 touchdowns on the year, only 1 interception, too. So that's some clean, efficient football. I mean, those are winning stats right there if you're the Warren Central Warriors. And meanwhile, on defense, their secondary has probably been one of the better secondaries in the conference and in the state, too. Got a bunch of returning starters with Willie Eaton, Jay Stanberry. Like, those guys can go head-to-head against any receiver in the conference.
Absolutely. You mentioned Willie Eaton. Willie Eaton already with 32 tackles and 2 interceptions on the year. And Javion Stanberry, we talked about it a little bit off air. He's shorter in stature, but he'll tell you, throw it my way and see what happens. You got to love that.
He almost reminds me a bit of Kenny Moore on the Colts, you know. Kenny Moore, you know, he's not really a big guy, but he plays like one. He's aggressive. He gets after the ball carriers, and that's exactly the mindset that Stanberry has. Like, he's not afraid to go up against anyone and make a play.
Absolutely, and we're going to switch gears and look at the Ben Davis Giants now. The Giants right now 1-3 on the season, but have a lot of talent still on that line. They're just trying to figure out how to win a game now. They get down there to the end. They're in it right there at halftime. It's just finishing a game. How do you think they can do that?
Well, really, I think it comes down to the running game. I mean, I talked to Coach Simmons this week, and he's still intent on getting the big-bodied receivers involved, and they certainly have some really talented receivers, but at the same time, the biggest success has come on the ground when Trent Gibson and Elijah Juan Hassel, their starting running back, has been able to get into the open field and make defenders miss. So if they can get chunk yards through their quarterback and their tailback tonight, watch out, they're going to be dangerous.
Absolutely. We talked about Trent Gibson, a senior that's gone through a lot in his 2 years here already. We're expecting him to have a breakout night here against the Warren Central Warriors. And we have a third member of our crew, though, down on the sideline, Tyler Locke. We haven't talked to him in a while. Tyler, what do you have for us?
We're ready. Thanks, guys. Coming into this matchup, Ben Davis has 3 keys. They want to limit the critical mistake. They want to get their passing game going. They do not want to rely on the read option scheme that they've been heavy upon this entire season. And they want to limit the rushing attack of Warren Central. On Warren Central's side, they want to make Ben Davis throw the football. Again, they've been relying on that read option scheme all season, so if they get him to throwing situations, they think they'll have a favorable situation there. And they also don't want to overlook this record. Look, this is a rivalry game, the 95th meeting of the Circle City Showdown. So something has to give, and records are thrown out the window, and something has to give in this game. We are about 2 minutes away from kickoff, and we'll be right back to you guys.
Thank you, Tyler, and he mentioned it right there. RPOs is going to be the name of the game for the Ben Davis Giants as well as the Warren Central Warriors, and you like that with 2 quarterbacks that can really get out and move the pocket.
Well, it's like I said, they have had success on the ground game, but like Tyler said, they want to get more of that RPO going, get more of the receivers involved, and why shouldn't you? I mean, you have 2 really big-bodied receivers in Jaden Brown and Dalen Carnell, just 2 absolute freaks of nature, 2 guys that can really go up and get the ball, and then you have a really talented receiver in Adrian Reese that's a starter from last year, and you know he's been that steadying presence too for this Ben Davis offense. Like, he has been a reliable target, and for Trent Gibson, like, he definitely has the arsenal around him to make plays through the air.
Absolutely, and we know last year when these 2 teams met up, it was very lopsided in Warren Central's way, a team that went undefeated. But the year before that, when Ben Davis had their undefeated streak, it was lopsided in their favor. So you got to think that this is going to be a game that is kind of like the grudge match. It's kind of the third time where one team had the dominant team. Next year, Warren Central comes back with the dominant team. This year, I think we're going to see a lot more closely contested ball game.
And it's probably going to be the case, too, because with the MIC this year, it's like I said, you don't have as many big-name athletes that you can rely on. So when it comes to that, you don't have as much margin for error. And when you have a critical mistake or two, it's really going to come down to who can execute and make plays for their team.
As we get things started, Joe Jackson tees up, boots it to the back of the end zone as the Ben Davis Giants will take over from their 20-yard line to start the 95th Circle City Showdown here from Ben Davis High School. And this is where I think Ben Davis wants to come out immediately and be aggressive to start. You have to be aggressive. You have to throw the first punch here against the East Side rival.
That's the thing with Ben Davis. I mean, just talking with Coach Simmons this week, he talked about avoiding that critical mistake like Tyler mentioned there on the sideline. So the big thing for Ben Davis, they have had some sort of critical mistake in the first quarter of every ball game this season. We saw that week 3 against Pike when Trent Gibson threw a pick 6 to Pike, and that really set the tone for this ball game, that it was really going to be back and forth. So if Ben Davis can come out and throw the opening punch, that's certainly going to catch Warren Central off guard.
Couple sophomores starting on that O-line for the Giants. Hassel going in motion out to the right. Gibson, swing pass, out far side. Makes a man miss, and here he goes. Elijah Hassel down the sideline, gets bumped out by Willie Eaton right at the 50-yard line.
Man, what a run right there. I mean, Adrian Reese, he was supposed to be the crack block right there. He didn't get through his man particularly well, but Elijah Hassel just did an outstanding job making his defender miss. You're seeing that blazing speed on display right there.
Elijah Hassel with 5 receptions for 93 yards coming into this one. Already a 30-yard completion there to start this ball game. This is what we talked about, throwing the first punch. 3-4 defense from Warren Central. Gibson, far side, makes a man go down right there at the 50, stays on his feet, and tiptoes out of bounds. Adrian Reese, the main target, and we'll be calling his name a lot tonight.
Certainly, Logan. And like I said, Reese has been that steadying target for this Ben Davis offense. He may not be the biggest guy, only being 5'8", 155 pounds, but he has steady hands, and he's a reliable target for Trent Gibson.
2nd and 4, ball on the 44-yard line. Just a couple snaps into this one. The Giants already moving the ball well. Hassel in motion, left side. Gibson keeps it himself, design quarterback run. And he'll be brought down by Andrew Nelson for a gain of a couple.
Good scramble right there by Gibson, but you just got to make sure you're keeping yourself healthy. He took kind of a shot right there to the head.
Andrew Nelson, 25 tackles on the season. 3rd down now in Warren Central territory. Gibson fumbles the ball, comes up with it right at the 40-yard line, and that should be close to a first down. The referee moving it back about a yard, so this could be 4th and 1. You see Gibson right here, just the exchange not quite there, but able to drop right on it, just shy of the 40-yard line.
Yeah, not the cleanest of exchanges there, and that just goes back to what I was saying. You can't have some sort of critical mistake early on and get yourself in the hole.
4th and 1. Giants offense staying on the field. 2 running backs in the backfield with Gibson. Hassel to his right, Cushionberry to his left. And Gibson keeps himself, pushes right side, and that will move the sticks with a rush of 2 yards. First down, Ben Davis Giants.
Well, it's interesting that call, too. They ran it to the right side of that offensive line next to big number 66, Andrew Zulu. And Coach Simmons has really been high on his praise this season, calling Zulu that, that anchor of the offensive line. It's been a revolving door around that offensive line all season. You have a couple of starters making their debut tonight, so Zulu has certainly been a good presence for this Ben Davis Giants.
Gibson keeps himself, tries to bounce outside, and he'll be brought down for a loss of 1 on the play.
That was just an excellent read by the linebacker right there, not being fooled by that zone read.
Sandifer, the man, too, for Warren Central. 2nd and 11 now. 3 receivers out to the left side. Ball on the far hash. Gibson looks left side. Pump fakes. Scrambling right. Keeping his head up. Has a man, and going to be an underthrow, but a flag comes out right at the 25-yard line.
Logan, that was a late flag. I'm willing to bet that is either a defensive hold or a pass interference on the defense.
Looked like Peters was the intended target there for Trent Gibson.
Yeah, well, the head official signaling it's against Warren Central. It will be a defensive pass interference off screen. So there you go, Ben Davis getting some early momentum going on.
Well, we talked about this. Ben Davis seems like in every single ball game has been in it at halftime. They've been right there. It's just about finishing a game. So they're starting out strong and, like we said, throwing that first punch early here. First down, ball on the 25-yard line after the defensive pass interference. The Giants are rolling on this opening series. Hassel in motion, left side. Gibson rolling left, back up the gut, spinning around. Brought down by a pair of Warriors. Marquise Cross first two, as maybe Gibson will get back to the line.
Been seeing that similar startup with Hassel going in motion for almost all these plays on this drive, and this time Gibson trying to change it up by throwing the pump fake and trying to take it up the gut himself, but Warren Central wasn't fooled on that play.
Second down, 11 yards to go. Gibson, right side, back to his left, throwing over the top, has Reese, incomplete, but here comes a flag.
Yeah, that's an easy call right there. Therese Reed is going to be called for the pass interference. Wasn't even looking towards Reese on that play.
And this was a ball that you wonder if Reed even had to come over the top on. It looked like Reese wasn't going to catch up to that one with how his angle was going, but Reed making plenty of contact there.
I mean, you could make a case that the ball was uncatchable anyway. It looked like, just based on that vantage point, that Gibson overthrew his intended target, but nevertheless, two costly pass interference calls, and this is very uncharacteristic of the Warriors.
You mentioned it, two defensive pass interference, bring up 2 first downs here for Ben Davis, and now ball going to be on the 12-yard line as the Giants are marching down the field. Gibson all alone in the backfield, 5-receiver set. Hassel in motion from left to right, gets it on the sweep, right side, has a hole, and that will be just out at the 1-yard line, but there is a flag on the far side of the field, and I believe this one's coming back, Josh.
Almost certainly. I mean, that was the big reason there that Hassel was able to get open space, was because the receiver was holding on that play.
And it looks like when you take a look at your screen here,
right there, Dalen Carnell. Can't be making mistakes like that. It looked like Hassel was going to get plenty of yards anyway, but just comes down to execution on plays like that.
There it is indeed, a holding call on the junior sensation, Dalen Carnell. If you don't know that name, you're going to want to remember it definitely for next year.
Almost definitely. The guy is getting recruited right now by Notre Dame, and probably one of the top recruits in the state of Indiana, according to 24/7 Sports. I mean, how often do you see a guy playing both ways on both sides of the ball in arguably the toughest conference in the state of Indiana?
Absolutely. Ball on the 17-yard line. 1st and 14 after the penalty. Carnell in motion. Little pass there to Hassel as the Warren Central Warriors were not fooled by the shuffle as Robledo was all over it.
It's a good job by Robledo there. I mean, a couple of times now that the linebackers have stayed disciplined and been able to get off their blocks and make the stop in the backfield.
I tell you what, those are always fun plays, a little shuffle pass where you kind of get a little bit of trickery going, but to no avail as Hassel going to come out of the game. Cushenberry in now on 2nd and 14 still. Gibson, roll out, left side, pump fake, throws one up, and it's intercepted! Willie Eaton tiptoeing down the sideline. Breaks the tackle from Gibson, still on his feet, past the 41-man to beat, finally brought down at the 45-yard line. Warren Central coming up with a monstrous turnover.
Oh man, Logan, this is exactly what I'm talking about here. You go down the field, you're about to score, and just, I don't know what kind of throw that was by Gibson, but you can't put it in the spot like that where Reese was clearly covered on the play, especially not towards one of the best defensive backs on this Warren Central team in Willie Eaton.
What a play there from Willie. We mentioned in the pregame he has 2 interceptions, make that 3 on the season. As Warren Central's a little late getting out here on the field, 15 on the clock. As they're gonna have to hurry out here. The referees have got this one going, but just a costly turnover for the Giants who were almost destined to score.
Well, Logan, it's once again rinse and repeat with these guys. I mean, Coach Simmons talked about it. You have to execute cleanly in the first quarter, get off to a fast start. Looked like that was gonna be the case there for a second, and now Warren Central steals possession, and they're in great field position.
But we mentioned the problems Warren Central was having here as they're going to take a timeout on the play. They were late getting out onto the field, not quite sure exactly what was going on as When they'd run out on the field, it looked like we were going to see a wildcat formation with Randy Wells taking a snap.
Interesting, too, because, I mean, that's one way to get R.J. Wells involved. He's such a talented athlete that you can't really assign a specific position to him. I mean, just even talking to Coach Simmons this week, he's not just a running back. He's not just a safety. He's just a ball player. Just a prime football player that can go out and play almost any position out there on the field.
Here come the Warriors back out onto the field. And it is a little bit of wildcat action with Wells back as the quarterback. You see Kobe Moore lined up out on the near side as a receiver. Man in motion. And the snap is bad. Wells just drops down on it. Going to be a loss of 4 on the play as that did not go as planned.
Well, that was just a mess to begin with. I mean, you take the timeout beforehand, try to reset yourselves, avoid a delay of game penalty, but then you mistime the snap and it winds up hitting your guy Eli Price and almost could have turned it over there.
I saw Price go in motion. Simmons, TJ Simmons, the center, just not quite on the same page as the Giants are showing blitz. Same play now as Wells keeps it himself. Breaks one tackle, loses the ball on the ground, and it looks like the Ben Davis Giants have recovered.
And Logan, you also have a flag on the field too. I'm wondering if this is on Warren Central, but
could have been an illegal shift. There are a couple men moving for Warren Central as they come out of the scrum. Ben Davis getting on that one. So the Giants get it right back with the funky formation there from Warren Central. Well, how about that? How quickly the tables have turned. Wells just couldn't quite keep his hands on it, and the Giants pounced on it.
And Logan, it looks like that penalty was on Warren Central, so wow, what an opportunity here for Ben Davis to fix the wrongs that they had in that first drive. They can just execute, like we have said at the top of this broadcast. If they could just execute, they have the talent to go out and make this a ball game against their crosstown rivals.
An early gift there as Warren Central gives it right back. Can't make the Giants pay as now Ben Davis with great starting field position coming right back out on the field. 7:35 to go in the first quarter. Still scoreless, but plenty of action. Gibson fakes a toss, takes it back right side, falls forward to the 45-yard line. A gain of, looks like 2 on the play. Robledo right there on the tackle.
Logan, that's the third time that Warren Central has tried to run it up the gut. They are clearly trying to challenge those young and inexperienced linebackers with Robledo and Sandifer. But so far, the linebackers, they've held their own, just limiting the Ben Davis Giants to minimal yardage on those carries.
Again, 3 men down on the line for the Warriors. Gibson going to take the snap, looks right side, fires one, has a man open deep, and it is complete down to the 15-yard line. What a reception that was by who else? Dalen Carnell.
Man, oh man, this is exactly what we were talking about, Logan. Dalen Carnell just using his long frame, going up, making the reception. That's just an outstanding play, just extending over Sandifer on that one. That was a mismatch to begin with.
Carnell standing at 6'3", making the Warriors pay. Here comes Hassel in motion. They'll give it to him on a sweep. Cuts it back inside. Robledo drags him down for a gain of 1. 2nd and 9, ball on the 14-yard line.
So here we go again, Ben Davis in the red zone once again. Last time they had a penalty that got them out of it. Then you had the Trent Gibson interception. Coach Simmons talked about this throughout the week, just taking advantage of your opportunities. You had a chance last week to take the lead at halftime against Center Grove, but you missed that.
Gibson keeps it himself right side, dives forward to the 10-yard line. Looks like they're going to mark him right at the 11. So another marginal gain for the Ben Davis Giants, brings up 3rd and 7. And tell you what, Josh, it might be a little early, but this might be 4-down territory with how the Giants have been rolling offensively.
I would certainly say so, Logan. I mean, it's like we said, you want to come out with this opening punch here, make a statement. Your season hasn't been going the way it's been going so far. This would be a great way to set the tone for this ball game.
Again, Gibson looking right side, keeps it himself, bouncing towards the middle. He'll be again dragged down just shy of the 10-yard line. And that's going to bring up 4th and 6 for the Ben Davis Giants.
Well, Logan, they're keeping their offense out there, like you said.
Tyler reported about the RPOs to start the game, and that's all we've seen so far out of this Giants offense.
I mean, you might as well take advantage of that. It's almost like an evolution of the zone read that Ben Davis has been running so far this season. So here we go, big fourth down.
4th and 6, 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Gibson throws one up, tipped at the line, incomplete. Andrew Nelson comes up with the big tip.
That was just an excellent read there by Nelson, just going up, batting that ball down, giving nobody a shot to come up with that ball and potentially with a first down or a touchdown.
Turnover on downs there as the Warren Central defense had their backs against the wall. They bit, but they did not break once again as they will take over now at the 10-yard line. We'll see what this Warren Central offense does after that early fumble in the first quarter.
Well, I tell you what, if you're Warren Central, you're going to ditch that Wildcats.
And it looks like they just might be on their way to doing that as Kobe Moore looks like going to be going under center this time. You like the little wrinkle in the offense, though.
You do. I mean, it's a good way to throw off Ben Davis. Just didn't work that time, and right there it looked like Wells stumbled a bit.
As it looks like it's Demarion Harris, the freshman sensation that had such a great game against Lawrence Central last week. He had 18 carries for 86 yards. Talked to Coach West before the game, said he doesn't want to overuse some of these younger guys, but wants to get them good reps. And that one, like I said, slipping, loss of one on the play. 2nd and 11. Back to Harris. Pushing right side, so keeping those legs turning. He'll get a gain of a couple. And that's going to bring up 3rd and long. Just like that for Warren Central.
Good job for Ben Davis right there, just stopping the run right there, setting up a 3rd and long situation. And be interested to see the 3rd down conversion rate for these Warren Central Warriors. I mean, it's not really the most prime position right now. 3rd and 9, you're deep in your own territory. For Coach West, you played a little more conservative and just set up the punting unit for better position, or do you try and get this first down?
Well, a lot of movement here before the snap. Put up on 5 seconds on the play clock. Moore out the shotgun set. Looking left side, throws one up, and here comes a flag as Derek Allen looks like got dragged to the ground by Jalen Dobson on the outside, and that might be a first down for Warren Central.
And you had the stop right there too if you're Ben Davis. I mean, Kobe Moore threw it where nobody was going to get it in the first place. It's just sloppy play right there by Dobson.
See, at the bottom of your screen, Allen and Dobson were going at it, and this is going to be a hold on Dobson. So not pass interference, but a holding call on right there, number 2, Jalen Dobson.
Well, regardless, it results in a first down, and for Ben Davis, you had a chance right there. 3 and out, you could have gotten the ball back. But instead, this Warren Central drive is going to continue.
Again, Moore going to go under center. Randy Wells back in the ballgame for the Warriors. A pitch right side, and Wells obliterated right there at the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to go. Cameron Kelly getting the hit on him.
Man, that was a nasty hit right there if you're Kelly. And Kelly has probably been one of the better linebackers of this bunch. He has 25 tackles on the season, you know, 2.5 TFL, so he's made his presence known throughout this season.
Moore going to go under center, 2nd and 11. 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Handoff, Wells cuts it back to the middle, has a huge hole. Runs through one tackler, still on his feet, and finally brought down at the 32-yard line. First down, Warren Central.
Excellent run right there by Wells. Just, it was almost like the seas parted open for him on that carry, and if it wasn't for Capone Powell or Dobson in that play, I mean, Wells could have taken it all the way.
Again, first down, Warren Central, ball in the 32. Moore getting the play call from the sideline. Warriors playing a little bit slower in this matchup against the Giants than we've typically seen in recent weeks. As Moore, again, under center. Man in motion. Top side of your screen. It'll be, again, a handoff to Wells, left side, finds a hole, and squeezes his way forward for a gain of 5 on the play.
Good job again by Wells. I mean, it looked like the defensive line had him bottled up in the backfield for a minute. They were winning their individual matchups one-on-one, but Wells just having good vision and patience, able to squeak out 4 yards.
Again, 2nd and 6.
Moore out of the shotgun. Wells just to his left in the backfield. 3 men down on the line for Ben Davis. Moore looking right side. Throws one up to Allen, who makes the grab. Stumbles past the 30. It's a foot race. And he will be thrown out of bounds right at the 15-yard line by Charles Knuckles, making the touchdown-saving tackle, but the Warren Central Warriors are in the red zone.
My goodness, Derek Allen. That was just going up, getting to the ball. That was a 50-50 ball right there. Him and Dobson, and Allen said, I will take that, thank you.
Strong play there, strong hands as well. As the senior, Derek Allen making a play. 9 receptions coming to this one, 125 yards and a score to his resume. As Moore, play action, looking, throws this one behind the intended receiver there of Michael Clark, going to be incomplete.
Well, if he would have held on to the ball a little longer, it looked like you had Eli Price open for just a split second over the middle. That's kind of where that inexperience comes into play for Kobe Moore. Like we said, he hasn't really played a lick of quarterback since his freshman year, and he was thrown in at the last second, but he's done a good job considering the circumstances this season.
3 receivers, top side of your screen. Wells just to Moore's right in the backfield. Moore looking left side, throws it out, has Eli Price. He's trying to stay on his feet. He's dancing right at the 9-yard line, and he'll be brought down for a gain of a few.
Well, Logan, that's a rare occurrence that Eli Price has probably picked up a short yard carry, because coming into this game, he has 4 catches. 3 of them have been for touchdowns. Averages over 40 yards on each reception, and all of them have been on long plays that have wound up in a touchdown. So he's a big play threat.
3rd and 4, Moore under center. Handoff Wells. The Giants are all over it, making their own stand, pushing Wells back 2 yards. As that will bring up 4th and 6 in decision time for the Warren Central Warriors.
Not sure what the justification was for that call. I mean, I personally would have thrown it in that case and see if you could set up a receiver on that play, but looks like Warren Central is content for just settling for 3 on this drive.
Joe Jackson, the junior kicker, coming out on the field. 1 of 1 on the year with a 22-yard field goal. This one would be from 28. And it's up, and it will be no good as he pulled it to the left. Ball was on the left hash, so once again, no points on the board after a long extended drive there for Warren Central.
And can we just say, Logan, this has been a high-flying, fast-paced first quarter. Only 10 seconds left on the clock, and we have no points to show up for it.
Well, I'll tell you what, the MIG Network would like to welcome back Papa John's as a title partner for the MIG Network Game of the Week. With over 30 locations in the central Indiana area, great pizza is always nearby. So after the game, enjoy a hot, delicious Papa John's pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza is always from Papa John's. When you support Papa John's, you are supporting high school sports.
So here we go. Ben Davis, is in this ball game as we're nearing the end of that first quarter.
Only 10 seconds remain in the first quarter. Gibson, again, out of the shotgun, sends Hassel far side motion, looks that way, keeps it up the middle. He'll be brought down by Andrew Nelson for a gain of 2 on the play, and that will take us to the end of the first quarter. A 0-0 ball game, something I know none of us expected after the drives that the Giants and the Warriors both put together. Turnovers the name of the game for the Ben Davis Giants, and missed opportunities the name of the game for the Warren Central Warriors.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, Logan. This first quarter has just been missed opportunities for both sides. I mean, both teams had a chance to get points in that first quarter. Ben Davis had 2 drives in the red zone. Warren Central had that chance to get a field goal at the end of the first quarter, but nothing doing for both sides, so we'll see which team can execute down the stretch.
When we return, we will have second quarter action for you right here on the MIG Network.
We didn't just build better cars, but help build something more, like community, family, futures. We're Honda, and we're building something more right here in Indiana.
Thank you, calling Pop John's Cumberland. This is Kyle speaking.
to the west side of Indianapolis, where the Ben Davis Giants are hosting the Warren Central Warriors in the 95th Circle City Showdown. 0-0 is the score after 1 quarter, as Gibson keeps it himself on the RPO, and he will be dragged down for a gain of 3 on the play. Going to set up third and about 3 yards.
That was a rare instance there of Gibson actually getting some reasonable yardage there. I mean, he's been held mainly to 2-3 yard carries. Linebackers have been very disciplined, but this time Gibson was able to squeak out just a little bit of running room.
Third down here for the Giants after the missed field goal by the Warren Central Warriors on the other end of that timeout. Hassel in motion, far side. And here comes a flag on the play. And this one going to be false start on the Ben Davis Giants. I'll push them back 5 yards. Bringing a third down and 9 yards to go. And you've said it, Josh Ayen. Ben Davis Giants just keep shooting themselves in the foot here.
They really do. I mean, just the story of their season, really the story of the last 2 years has been anytime they come even within a whiff of picking up some sort of success, they just happen to take a couple of steps back.
Said as well in the pregame where Coach West and Coach Simmons both agreed we play 8 plays really well out of 10, but those last 2 are the ones that really hurt us. 3rd and 9. Gibson out of the shotgun again. 3 receivers top side of the screen. Here comes Gibson looking left side. Has a man, going to be completed for a gain of about 3 on the play, as that was once again Dalen Carnell.
Actually looked like Chris Peters on that reception, and he was able to come up with the grab, but nowhere near close to the first down marker. If you're going to run your route, you got to be mindful of where the sticks are.
Well, here comes the punting unit out on the field for the first time in this game. Hard to believe. Haven't seen a punt yet, but here comes Trent Gibson standing close to his own 10-yard line. Eli Price standing at his own 40. And it is a trick play. Gibson looking to pass, throws this one up, and it's complete. Down the sideline, there they go. All the way, touchdown, Ben Davis. Capone Powell in on the touchdown, but there is a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
You see the officials standing back near where the original line of scrimmage
and
was.
It's an illegal shift on Ben Davis.
My goodness.
As there were a couple players moving there. There were a couple players moving at the same time. You could see with the shift, but Capone Powell still making a heck of a play there. And once again, Ben Davis just killing themselves there with a penalty to bring them back.
I mean, what else can you say at this point, Logan? It's like I said, rinse and repeat. Pick your cliche, Logan. It's just
take the 6 off the board there for the Giants. The illegal shift on 4th down negates the trick play. Well, it was really fun to watch there from Trent Gibson, as it's always fun to see a quarterback as a punter. There's always that possibility of something like that happens. But to no avail, as you have to take 6 off the board.
Well, Logan, while we're waiting for Gibson to punt again, got a quick score update for you. Lawrence North up surprisingly 7-0 over the Carmel Greyhounds at the end of the first quarter.
How about the punt there from Trent Gibson, taking a nice friendly giant hop inside the 10-yard line, still rolling. Gonna be downed right at, it looks like, the 7-yard line. What a boom there, that's switching the field.
Over 60 yards, that would make Pat McAfee proud.
Gibson averages about 28 yards on his punts, and this one almost as good as a touchdown, just flipping the field like that.
Logan, I'm going to call that punt certified for the brand.
And speaking of brand, we want to thank Brand Visions for their support of the MIC Network. For all your sports or club apparel needs, your best play is Brand Visions. Looking for club t-shirts, company apparel, or team uniforms, Brand Visions will customize a look unique to your organization. For them and seeing all that they can do, make sure you go to thebrandvision.com.
Another score update for you. Lawrence Central leading 8-0 over the Pike Red Devils.
Keep you updated on all the scores going on around the MIC, as Wells plowing through a couple Giants, works his way up near the 13-yard line. Strong run there for the Warren Central Warriors.
Good job by RJ right there, picking up 6 yards. Not keeping the chains moving, but setting up the Warren Central offense in a second and very reasonable position.
Again, Moore going to go under center. A couple guys packed in there on the line for strong ball here from the Warren Central Warriors as Wells again plunges forward to close to the 16-yard line. And that's going to bring up third down and about a yard to go. Coming up on 9 minutes to play in the first half as well.
Like what Warren Central is doing on this drive, going back to the basics, running the football, just ground and pound. I am going to be more physically dominant than you.
Giants crowding the line of scrimmage again. Handoff right side to Wells, cuts it back, breaks one tackle, breaks another, and again falls forward, but the ball does come out at the very end. No signal from the official. The Giants are saying they have it down there. No call yet from the officials, and there it is. Announcing that the Ben Davis Giants have once again come up with a turnover. Randy Wells with his second fumble of the evening.
Again, this is very uncharacteristic, not only of Wells, but just Warren Central. We have 2 lost fumbles in the first half alone. That's just not a winning recipe for
see Wells
success.
Going for this extra effort here. And there's the punch out.
That's an excellent call by the officials there, saying that ball was on the ground before Wells touched the ground.
Dalen Carnell, the culprit of the forced fumble. Short field to work with for the Giants. We're still looking for the first points on the board. Plenty of turnovers, plenty of defensive plays, but still a 0-0 ball game.
Here we go again, Logan. Ben Davis in prime field position, but can they capitalize?
Robledo and Perkins working together on that play to push Hassel back a yard. Gonna bring up 2nd and 11 from the 25-yard line. And the Giants playing quickly. Gibson all alone in the backfield.
Check out this formation right here. You have Hassel already behind the line of scrimmage, the receivers.
Gibson keeps himself, rolls left side and brought down right at the 20-yard line by Robledo. Brings up a 3rd and manageable.
Well, that was certainly a different look. I mean, you usually have seen the pre-snap motion with Hassel going towards the strong side with the receivers. This time, just like you see at the bottom of your screen, Hassel is lined up already behind the receivers.
Gibson shoots up the left side, diving forward, down at the 11. First down, Ben Davis. And the Giants playing quick, looking to catch this Warren Central defense on its heels.
That was the exact same play that they ran. Gibson going towards the left side again. This time it worked a lot better than it did last time, and running behind David Lara Gonzalez and Keelan Davis. Lara Gonzalez, like I said, is one of those fill-ins that is replacing some of the injured Ben Davis offensive linemen.
Hassel in motion right side. Gibson looking that way, keeps it himself again up the middle, and he'll be brought down for a loss of 1 on the play. Kevin Powell in on the tackle for Warren Central.
Well, Gibson is just so dangerous to bring down to that open field, and this time Robledo, doing a good job. Chopping him down quickly, and again, Gibson just so difficult to bring down the open field.
Misdirection to Hassel, breaks the tackle in the backfield. He'll fall forward to the 11, gain of 1 on the play, and all of a sudden Ben Davis at a 3rd and 11 as this drive starting to stall on him.
Looks like they're going to set up 3rd and 10 now. But yeah, I mean, Warren Central, they are holding steady with their defense. Like you said, Logan, that bend but don't break philosophy paying off already.
3 receivers, bottom of your screen. Gibson looking right side, throws it up for Carnell, and he gets upended. Ball on the ground, incomplete pass. Oh my goodness, as Carnell slow to his feet here.
Carnell just taking a shot right there. My goodness, he was in prime position to bring that down. Gibson doing a good job putting him in a good spot, but Carnell just getting punished right there.
Leal Warren right there laying the hit on the safety for Warren Central. And that's going to bring out the kicking unit, Zach Fox. 2 for 2 on the year, a long of 33. Kicking would be a 28-yard field goal. This shot is up, and that one will be no good. Missing it the exact same way from the exact same spot as Joe Jackson did earlier for Warren Central.
My goodness, Logan, at this point, it's not who wants to win this ball game, it's who doesn't want to lose this ball game. Just so many mistakes left and right. I mean, We certainly thought this was going to be a close game, but I didn't expect the level of sloppy play from both sides.
Well, the Marriott East Center is a strong supporter of Mixed Sports and the MIG Network Game of the Week. Marriott East is a premier hotel located just minutes from downtown. Next time you're looking for a hotel room or a place for your meeting or conference, check in with the Marriott East of Indianapolis. Moore under center, drops back over the middle. This pass is going to be dropped. Looks like that was Clark streaking over the middle, the tight end.
Clark was wide open on that play, but Moore has to do a better job of putting the ball in that spot there, just a little low on that throw.
2nd and 10, ball on the 20-yard line for Warren Central. Still a 0-0 ball game. Couple missed field goals, couple of turnovers, plenty of exciting action so far.
Just no points to show for it.
Everything you'd expect from east side versus west side. Moore, again, under center. This time, play action. Throwing a deep ball for Allen. He has him and overthrows him past the 50-yard line.
My goodness, Derek Allen was primed to take that ball all the way, but Moore just doing a little bit overthrown on that one. And that was the first time we saw the play action from this Warren Central offense. That's some of their bread and butter right there. It's something that Coach Simmons was really trying to focus in this week when he was doing the game preparation.
It looks like Moore went to the outside as Allen was going towards the middle of the field and just passed him. 3rd and 10, Moore out of the shotgun set, rolls to his left, has time, zips one out past Derek Allen over his head, incomplete. Brings up 4th down.
And that's just good execution there by Ben Davis. You get the 3 and out this time. No flags, no miscues. Do your job and get off the field.
6:15 remaining in this first half as Randy Wells is back to punt for the first time tonight for Warren Central. The return man for Ben Davis will be Adrian Reese, the senior do-it-all, standing at his own 40.
Ben Davis is in good position to get some good field position here.
End-over-end punt from Wells. It takes a Warren Central hop, and Reese wisely gets away from it as it looks like Wellman, the long snapper, will down this right at the 26-yard line. So again, a good flip of the field off of a good bounce from a punt. And Ben Davis, once again, will set up shop in their own territory.
That was about 54 net yards on that punt there, Logan. That was another good punt right there. We're seeing some clean special teams in the punting game. Maybe not in the field goal kicking game, but punting game has been probably the best thing about this ball game from an execution standpoint.
Well, the MIG Network would like to welcome back Papa John's as a title partner for the MIG Network Game of the Week. With over 30 locations in the central Indiana area, great pizza is always nearby. So after the game, enjoy a hot, delicious Papa John's pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. A few ticks over 6 minutes remaining in this second quarter. 0-0 ball game. Hard to believe as Gibson keeps it himself on the keeper. And he'll roll forward for a gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Again, just good discipline by that Warren Central front 7. Making life really difficult for the quarterback tonight.
This Warren Central defense starting to stiffen up just a bit on some of those RPOs and starting to key in more on Gibson, where he was beating them hard in the first quarter. Again, Gibson out of the shotgun. Hassel just to his left. 3 receivers top side. Gibson looking left side over the middle, back to his right for Carnell, one-on-one. Carnell diving but cannot make the grab. Good coverage there on the outside by Therese Reed.
It looked like if Carnell did have a step, it was maybe just the slightest of inches. But that was, like you said, Logan, some excellent coverage by Therese Reed.
And a good ball from Gibson as well, though it was incomplete. He put it where only his guy could get it.
Certainly. Did overthrow it a little bit, but like you said, you'd rather overthrow the target than underthrow it and potentially put Reed in position to make an interception.
3rd and 9 now for the Giants. Warriors looking to answer with their own 3 and out. Gibson, again, over the middle, has Peters as he will be shoved down right at the 37-yard line, and that's going to be enough to move the sticks.
That's a good catch and run there by Peters. I mean, he was going to be brought down before or behind the sticks. He's doing an excellent job shaking off his man and inching just forward past the first down marker.
Again, first down, Ben Davis Giants. 3 men down on the line still for Warren Central as Gibson under pressure throws this one up, and it is going to be incomplete, but a flag coming in late as Jalen Nolan was the intended target.
Oh my, I'm not so sure about this call right here.
Looked like Taz Relford is going to be the man called for the defensive pass interference there. As we take a look, throwing it up. Both guys looking for the ball.
I think that was clean coverage, Logan.
We saw the left arm there of Relford jostling for position.
Then again, nobody really knows what pass interference is anymore, do they?
Nonetheless, going to move the sticks, though. First down, Ben Davis into Warren Central Warrior territory. Ball on the 48-yard line. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Gibson looking, right side, pump fake, under duress, throws one to the corner, and Nolan cannot make the grab, bobbled it out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, that was some excellent protection there by the offensive line. I mean, granted, you only send 3 on that rush, but Gibson doing a good job, buying some time until one of his receivers was able to break open. If you're Nolan, you got to come down with that ball.
2nd and 10. Cushenberry just to Gibson's right in the backfield. 3 receivers, bottom of the screen. Again, the Giants running the spread offense. Gibson keeps it himself right side. Falls forward, gain of 3 on the play. We've seen that play a lot from Trent Gibson, who a phenomenal runner on the season as well. Over 300 yards already and a couple touchdowns.
Well, like we said, Logan, he's been held mainly in check tonight, getting very limited opportunities to break one out in the open. Just good discipline from the Warren Central linebackers.
3rd and 7. Gibson alone in the backfield. Hassel in motion, and timeout coming from the Warren Central Warriors. Did not like the looks of this one.
That's got to be their 2nd timeout, too, as you start to consider the clock situation. Assuming Warren Central does get 1 possession before the half, they're only going to have 1 timeout to work with.
Well, I'm not sure if any of that will even matter. We're still stuck at 0-0, Josh. Can't quite find the scoreboard from either team's couple missed opportunities has been the name of the game. Well, the MIG Network is proud to bring you sports action from the best conference in the state for a 4th straight year. We want to thank our distribution partners for this year, WTHR and IndyStar.com. When you think MIG Sports, make sure you think MIG Network. As MIG Network would also have to extend our thank you to the athletic directors of the Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference for making our coverage possible. Their commitment to youth sports and youth development is as always applause-worthy. 4:16 remaining in the first half. Again, timeout here from Warren Central, as they did not like what they saw from Ben Davis there. As going to bring up 3rd and 7 from Gibson in this Ben Davis offense, who has done a fairly nice job moving the ball down the field on this Warren Central defense.
They sure have, and Logan, they've actually done a good job of challenging this Warren Central secondary. We said the Warren Central secondary was probably the strength of this defense here, and Ben Davis is saying, we don't care.
Gibson throws it up, and wow, what a play there made by Warren Central. Therese Reed getting that right hand wrapped around. Incomplete pass. Intended target was Chris Peters. It brings up 4th down as Gibson is behind the play. Down still as he's up and moving, but Gibson, you see, under pressure. Right there, Reed wraps around, just gets his hand on it.
If you're Peters there, you got to do a better job of coming back for that ball. I mean, that's a big reason why Reed was able to make a break on that ball.
4th and 7, offense staying on the field. Play clock under 10. As Giants are going to have to hurry. Gibson gets him down.
Watch the pooch kick here.
And there it is. This one will be launched, bounced at the 15, and will roll carefree into the end zone as the Warren Central Warriors will take over from the 20-yard line, and we're still looking for our first points of this ball game. Plenty of trips to the red zone, but neither team with points to show for it.
I'm very surprised, Logan. I mean, for Ben Davis, I wouldn't say I would be as surprised considering some of the woes that they've had with turning the ball over, not taking advantage of opportunities. But Warren Central, they've been able to put up some points on the board, especially last week over at Lawrence Central. They were able to put up 41 against Lawrence Central.
Absolutely. It's a team that had no problem scoring against some of its opponents, putting up 40 against Lawrence Central, like you mentioned. And it's a reason why the coaches poll has Lawrence Central ranked #1 in the state. As Kobe Moore coming out under center. This time play action again, looking long, hits as he's thrown, looking for Brown. Nearly picked off there by the Ben Davis Giants. Dalen Carnell nearly had it.
That was excellent, excellent coverage by Carnell. If you're Kobe Moore, you should not have thrown that deep ball. I mean, you were going to have pressure in your face anyway, and that ball was just underthrown, and Carnell was in prime position to come up with a takeaway.
Defenders there for the Giants doing their scouting report. We're not fooled on the play action. 2nd and long now for the Warren Central Warriors. This time, handoff to Wells, bounces off tackler, trucks another man, and falls forward for a gain of 5 on the play. Charles Knuckles in on the tackle.
There you go again. Just keep it simple. Keep it to the ground game and let Wells take control. I know he has 2 fumbles on the day, but at the same time, Wells has been in positions like this where he has been in tight ball games. He knows how to perform under pressure.
Giants showing blitz. Moore out of the shotgun, looks right side, quick fire, and throws this one at the dirt as Dobson makes the play defensively for the Ben Davis Giants.
Well, if you look down at the stands of the Warren Central sideline, you see a couple of raised arms and grumbles saying, why was there no pass interference? But to me, I agree with the no call just because that ball was thrown low. The receiver wasn't really in the best position to come up with that play.
And once again, back-to-back trips for Randy Wells looking to punt this one away. Again, Reese standing just beyond his own 40-yard line. Wells gets this one off cleanly, but a flag comes in late back towards the punter as Reese fields it and gets brought down right at the 50-yard line. But this one could end up being a first down for the Warren Central Warriors. That was a 4th and 5. You saw one of the Giant defenders leaping over the blockers there for Warren Central in that shield, and that could be a big no-no for the Ben Davis Giants.
Let's see what the official calls here. This is going to be interesting. You see the head official coming over to head coach Jason Simmons for the Ben Davis Giants. It could be a low block on Warren Central. So in that case, it would just be a 10-yarder on Warren Central, and Ben Davis would still wind up with possession.
And it is going to be shot block there on Warren Central, so that will be tacked on then to the end of the run. That's why one of the defenders went over. As you see the Warren Central Warriors down south and pleading their case, saying the guy jumped, we didn't hit him low.
Well, if this is a 15-yarder, Ben Davis is only going to have to drive 35 yards to get their first points of the ball game. I mean, you can't drop any better than this, Logan.
And only 3 minutes left to go in this first half. All 3 timeouts still for the Ben Davis Giants.
So here we go, Logan. You are in prime position to get some sort of points on the board. You're in a tight ball game against your crosstown foe. Can you execute here, get in the end zone, take that, or get that first opening punch against your rival? Or are they just going to fall flat like they have throughout most of this season?
Gibson with Hassel to his right, Cushenberry to his left in the backfield. 5 seconds on the play clock. Toss out wide to Hassel, and he will fall forward to the 33-yard line, gain of 2.
Yeah, those running lanes they've been few and far between so far for Ben Davis, excuse me. Warren Central doing a good job, like we said, just staying disciplined and limiting that big play, keeping everything in front of them.
Clock still moving as Gibson out of the shotgun set. Again, toss to Hassel, left side, has some room out to the corner, gets a block, past the 20, working back inside, touchdown Ben Davis as the Giants go on top.
And there's the play you're looking for, Logan. 35 yards from Elijah Juan Hassel. He had some great blocks right here. I mean, Sandifer thought he had his man beat, but Elijah Hassel just too tough to bring down in the open field.
Able to make the play there for the Ben Davis Giants as finally we get some points on the board. The West Side speaking up first as Fox puts this one in and true. So 7-0 Ben Davis Giants on top of the Warren Central Warriors late in this first half.
Well, here we go, Logan. Ben Davis in a prime position at the end of the first half. They have the lead. They have the momentum. Can they put Warren Central on the ropes here, get another quick stop? Like you said, they have all 3 of their timeouts. So you got to consider the clock is in play here. If they can get a quick stop, can they get the ball with enough time and decent enough field position to maybe tack on some more points before the end of the half?
We've seen a lot of sloppy play from both sides, a lot of penalties, a lot of flags out on the field, but nonetheless, Ben Davis comes out with the first strike. After playing 20 minutes of football, we finally get some points on the board.
Well, it's interesting, too, just talking to both coaches this week. I had a chance to talk with Coach West as well, and, I asked him, what is the team's perception of Ben Davis, with their record in mind being 1-3, and Coach West was honest. He said that, the guys may not have been as fired up this week as they should have been, considering it's their crosstown foe. He asked the guys on Tuesday after a sloppy practice, he was saying, you guys realize we're playing Ben Davis, right? They're going to be just as hungry for a win as we are.
Fox has it teed up, ready to kick off, and pops this one high, and it's dropped on the ground. And Warren Central looks like going to come up with it right at the 36-yard line, but a dangerous play there as Trayvon Lewis had it initially and lost it, and Clark able to get on top of it for Warren Central. Because I'm not quite sure that was an onside kick as much as it was more of just not giving a return at all.
I think that was an onside attempt there. I mean, they were trying to find the soft spot in that kickoff coverage. You saw number 7 for Warren Central, Trayvon Lewis. He wasn't able to come away with that ball cleanly. And sometimes when it comes to those onside kicks, that's what it comes down to. Just can the guy closest to the ball field that ball cleanly?
Here comes Warren Central, 2:22 on the clock. Down 7-0 to the Ben Davis Giants. Moore throwing, caught right at the 39-yard line. DeMarcus Brown making his first appearance of the night with a grab.
So there you go, get the quick catch. You see Warren Central trying to push the tempo now a bit.
This is something we haven't necessarily seen from them so far, running that 2-minute offense.
Certainly a unique position for this Warriors offense.
Again, Moore rolling right side, has a man out wide, completed and pushed out of bounds will be Chris Atkins for Warren Central. That will stop the clock as the chains move as well. Ball past midfield.
That was Atkins. That was only his 5th catch of the year, too. 4 catches, 32 yards on the season. Doing a good job finding space, and that was a bit of that crossing pattern, and that's how Atkins was able to get space on that route.
Warren Central with some time here, and now a pair of first downs. As Moore looks left side, looking for Atkins, and nearly picked off by Carnell again. Read it perfectly and would have had 6.
Man, Carnell looked like he was shot out of a cannon there. Just look on this replay. Atkins was sitting waiting for that ball. And Carnell, like you said, Logan, read that perfectly. Just couldn't bring that down. That was a pick 6 right there.
Missed opportunity there for the Giants, but still, they forced the incompletion. 2nd and 10, ball on the 47-yard line, 1:44 to go in this first half. Now Moore going to go under center. Play action again. Moore under pressure, rolls right side, has some room in front of him. He's going to take off and run, gets to the sideline, still moving, and finally forced out at the 25-yard line. First down, Warren Central.
There you go. Kobe Moore picking up 22 on that scramble. Looked like Ben Davis had him knocked down in the backfield, but just poor tackling and pursuit there.
Sometimes broken plays are the best plays offensively. As the Warriors creeping forward here, looking to answer the 7 points put on the board. Last possession by the Ben Davis Giants.
And the clock isn't really a concern here if you're Warren Central. Well, we've got another clock stoppage right here.
It's like Ben Davis taking the timeout. Saw the defense giving up a couple plays. Want to talk things over, Coach Simmons does, with his defense.
And that's a good call. Try to stop the momentum if you're Warren Central. Give them time to maybe think some things over.
Well, the MIG Network would like to welcome back Papa John's as the title partner for the MIG Network Game of the Week. With over 30 locations in the central Indiana area, great pizza is always nearby. So after the game, enjoy a hot, delicious, sizzling Papa John's pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza is always from Papa John's. And when you support Papa John's, you are supporting high school athletics. Coming out of the timeout here from the Ben Davis Giants, there's 1:35 remaining in the second quarter. Ben Davis leading 7-0 thanks to the 33-yard scamper by Olajuwon Hassel on the last series, finally breaking a 0-0 tie that we had seen for the majority of this game. As the Warriors looking to answer back of their own, we've had 2 missed field goals, one from Warren, one from Ben Davis. A couple turnovers both sides, as now the offense is starting to get on track. Moore, ball on the ground, picks it up. Broken play, scrambling around in the backfield, and finally is dropped down right at the 28-yard line.
Looked like that was Malik Temple on that stop, and just defense doing a good job keeping their heads up. And Moore almost, if he broke that tackle, maybe could have picked up a couple of more yards.
A couple guys come up hobbling for Warren Central. Left tackle Devontae Seawood as well as Kobe Moore both come up a little hobbled on the play as the clock nears 1 minute to go. 2nd and 12 for the Warriors. Moore drop back to pass. Looking over the top, throws one up to the middle. Intercepted by the Ben Davis Giants. Dylan Moore, the sophomore, coming up with the pick.
The sophomore with an outstanding play. First career interception at the varsity level. What an outstanding play. Even worse decision by Kobe Moore. You should not have thrown that ball into triple coverage.
And a big defensive stand for the Ben Davis Giants. That one had a little too much air on it, and Dylan Moore made Kobe Moore pay. Well, now the Giants have 2 timeouts remaining, 51 seconds on the clock, all the momentum, ball on their own 20-yard line. We'll see what they do offensively.
This is a unique position for Ben Davis, too. I mean, aside from that Week 3 game against Pike, they're not really used to playing with the lead.
As we see a stoppage here in officials' timeout, is Dalen Carnell going to trot off to the sideline. Looks like he has an equipment issue there. And we'll see Dylan Moore coming back in for him.
Moore's another one of those young guys. I mean, we just saw him on that interception, but one of those younger guys that's primed to just have a really successful career here at Ben Davis.
Guy playing both sides of the ball and playing it well. Hassel, swing pass to the left side, has some open field, and finally is going to be dropped down right at the 34-yard line.
It's going to be 14 yards on that carry, and it stops the clock too with that first down.
Relford finally there to drop him down. Clock moving under 40 seconds. Gibson under pressure, steps up in the pocket, and is going to be sacked back at the 30-yard line.
Looks like Lee Alexander on that sack, a freshman phenom getting the big play right there and stalling this drive.
As looks like Ben Davis might just take this one in to halftime now. Under 10 seconds to go, and why not? As the Giants are going to be up 7-0 on the #1 team in the state, the Warren Central Warrior, the East Side rival. As the Giants right now flexing their muscle here at home, the 33-yard rush from Olajuwon Hassel is indeed the deciding factor in this first half, putting the Giants up 7-0 over the Warren Central Warriors. We've seen missed field goals, we've seen turnovers, we've seen flags, and we've seen only 1 touchdown to show for it. As the Ben Davis Giants right now with the lead over the Warren Central Warriors. A lot of fun action already in this first half, and you got to wonder what the halftime speeches is going to be here for the Warren Central Warriors. You talked about Coach West talking to his guys saying that their energy maybe wasn't quite what it needed to be. Well, I think the Giants got their attention.
Oh, certainly. Absolutely, Logan. And if you're Ben Davis, you cannot be more thrilled with the score. I know you had some missed opportunities with the missed field goal. You had the interception, but still, you are ahead of your crosstown rival. You didn't beat them at all. You got embarrassed by them, 70-27 in the regular season last year, and again in the sectional. So Ben Davis, they're off to a really good start so far against Warren Central.
Well, here's the big win that Coach Simmons is looking to come up with. He's down there with Tyler right now. Tyler, take it away.
Thanks, guys. I'm standing here with Coach Simmons of Ben Davis. Coach, 24 minutes in the books. How do you evaluate your team's performance so far?
Well, I think for both teams, it's been about missed opportunities. We had the ball in the scoring zone through an interception. We missed a field goal on the other end. They missed a field goal. So, I think both defenses are playing like they're capable of playing, and I think we're seeing a Warren Central Ben Davis football game right now, where it's a one-possession game, and both teams have had chances, and both teams have made stops.
7-0 here going into the second half. So a little bit of a related question. What is it going to take to separate and get this win going into the second half of this game?
For us, we've had a lull or a lapse in the first 4 games where we've given up chunk points, and so for us, we got to keep sustained focus for the next 24 minutes of football action. If we do that, we're going to give ourselves a chance to win. But we have to concentrate on winning the next play. We have to concentrate on being disciplined, and I felt like we did that here in the first half for the most part. We just got to go. We got to go see if we can finish and put another 24 minutes together.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
That was Coach Simmons of Ben Davis. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back to Game of the Week.
Thank you, Pop Jones. Cumberland, this is Kyle speaking.
The pizza's here. Give me my Papa John's. The cheese is my favorite. I don't want to complain. Is that Supreme? Chicken. I really like network name
They scored touchdowns here. You got to be able to get these guys off the field to get the nice punt.
Yeah.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation initiative. Thanks to Frontrunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
I do this for my Giants at BD. We on BD. Shout out to my team, you feel me? Look, we making sure to give you what you want and what you need. To everything from news and entertainment on TV. If you were with us, then you know that it'd be clear to see my team is working hard to give you facts involving you and me. Home of the Giants, prepared to win, working overdrive. We do a skit, whip it up, and now it's recording time. White and purple, my colors know that I'm supporting mine. We got a game, hop in the field, now it's recording time. And we've been strong throughout these years, it ain't no going back. We came too far to knock us down, it ain't no holding back. We ran it up since Mr. Benjamin controlled the track. The Giants to the city, we came hard to take over than that. studio time on this ball. That's all.
Here we are displaying a lot of school spirit in the student section, band, family, friends, and let's not forget Diamond Dynasty. Let's check it out.
Purple Rain has improved a lot over the years. Let's keep it going, Giants. Diamond Dynasty always has a big presence in the crowd. We have a big crowd here to support our Giants at home. The Ben Davis fans have a high energy as we cheer on our players. Keep up the high energy as we continue to take on Warren Central Warriors. For the Circle City Showdown, 95th edition, East Side versus the West Side, Victoria Cuevas, BD TV.
What if a car company didn't just build better cars, but help build something more, like community, family, futures? Well, that's exactly what Honda's doing, right here in Indiana. We're home of the award-winning Civic and CR-V, and home of the smart, stylish Insight Hybrid, all proudly built in Greensburg. We're support and stability, here and here. We're Honda, and we're building something more together.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation initiative. Thanks to Frontrunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
Thank you, calling Pop John's Cumberland. This is Kyle speaking.
The pizza's here.
Give me my Papa John's.
The cheese is my favorite. I love the plain.
Is that Supreme? Good. Chicken.
I really like
network name just a
They scored touchdowns here. You gotta be able to get these guys off the field. Get like a nice punt.
Yeah.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is presented by Papa John's, the Indianapolis Marriott East Center, Brand Visions, and Frontrunner Media.
Welcome back to Ben Davis High School, the site of your MIC Network Game of the Week. As the Warren Central Warriors have come to the west side to take on the Ben Davis Giants in the 95th Circle City Showdown. And so far, the Giants have had their number. They're up 7-0, Josh.
Well, the Circle City Showdown, it's had its fireworks, but just no points so far. If you look at the stats, Warren Central and Ben Davis, the turnover battle right now, Ben Davis is winning that turnover battle right now, 3-2. So plenty of missed opportunities, plenty of miscues for both sides, but Ben Davis finding a way to get themselves ahead at the half.
So what are some things you think that Ben Davis can do to keep this momentum going, already up 7-0 at half, and really have done a nice job defensively? What do you think they need to do to continue to improve upon that and keep Warren Central from coming back?
Well, you heard Coach Simmons at the end of the half there. They got to keep their focus sustained throughout this second half, find a way to put together 24 minutes. And really, we have seen this before from the Giants, too, where they have been in prime position to make this a ball game, but either a myriad of miscues, penalties, turnovers have been their undoing. So if Ben Davis can come out and just execute, put together a solid 24 minutes and just play their game, don't give any reason for Warren Central to get back into this ball game, then Ben Davis, they can come away with the win.
Yeah, when we take a look at this first half and everything that has happened so far and some of the highlights, you got to think that Trent Gibson was one of the guys that really made it happen, whether he was swinging it out to Lajuan Hassel, who got things started early. But those RPOs just seem so deadly for the Ben Davis Giants.
Well, certainly, and Warren Central always has to consider the mobile threat of Trent Gibson. And something we haven't really seen as much from him this year has been his throwing ability. He's actually put some balls in good places today. You saw some good catches from Dalen Carnell and maybe some other catches from Jalen Nolan and Jalen Brown. But still, Ben Davis has been able to find success moving the ball up and down the field, not just running the ball, but throwing.
We've seen a couple times already where the Giants get down there, they get into the red zone, and then they get stopped. Whether it was a turnover, whether it was a turnover on downs, missed field goal, whatever it is, been just a lot of missed opportunities really from both sides of the ball, with even Warren Central as well getting stopped offensively.
Yeah, exactly, and that's probably been the most disappointing thing about Warren Central. They seem like they finally found a rhythm offensively coming into this week, but they just took a couple of steps back. I mean, you saw the 2 lost fumbles by R.J. Wells. You saw the interception from Kobe Moore at the end of that first half, and really it just puts them in a tough spot because they're down early on against their crosstown rival.
That's what we've seen from up here. We know Tyler Locke, the third man of our crew, had a better look down on the field. Tyler, what did you see from the first half?
Thanks, guys. It's been a wild first half where turnovers have been traded between both teams. Ben Davis has been able to control the pace, but they have been unable to capitalize outside of the one score, the only score we have in this game. On the Warren Central side, Coach West is imploring to his players to wake up. Remember, they had to throw out the records in this rivalry game because anything can happen. And so far, Ben Davis has been able to take the momentum and control this game. Coach West is talking to his players at halftime to, again, wake up and get it together as they can try to climb back, take the momentum, and get a win here in the second half. Guys, we're going to send it right back up to you.
Thank you, Tyler, and that's right on cue with everything we'd kind of been saying there from both coaches to kind of see what they need to improve on to give us a better second half play.
I mean, you just heard what Tyler was saying about just what Warren has to do and how they came into this game with that mindset. You got to throw the records out of the window, and especially playing against Ben Davis. I mean, yes, Ben Davis is 1-3 coming into this game, but you got to bring the energy, especially because Ben Davis, they have been ready. They've been circling this game on their calendar for a long, long time.
Absolutely, and we're going to see what exactly type of teamwork that's going to come out of halftime with Warren Central and Ben Davis. 7-0 your score already. Ben Davis up on the Warren Central Warriors here on the west side in the 95th Circle City Showdown. We'll have kickoff to the second half next for you here on the Mick Network Game of the Week.
The Mick Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation initiative. Thanks to Frontrunner, the Mick Network Game of the Week allows students around the Mick to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The Mick Network, led by students powered by Champion.
Thank Colin Pop Johns. Cumberland, this is Kyle speaking.
The pizza's here!
What if a car company didn't just build better cars, but help build something more, like community, family, futures? We're Honda, and we're building something more right here in Indiana.
Thank Colin Pop Johns. Cumberland, this is Kyle speaking.
The pizza's here! The cheese is my favorite. I want to complain.
Is that Supreme? They scored touchdowns here. You gotta be able to get these guys off the field to get the nice punt.
Hey, Mig Network, welcome back. We are at halftime, about to approach the third quarter. I am Will,
I'm Amanda.
and we're about to get into our last challenge. Let's see what it is.
The last challenge is going to be the Whisper Challenge. Now, if you don't know how this works, I'm going to tell you. We have a Warren Central student and a Ben Davis student. Now, one of them is going to start with having headphones on, and the other person will have pieces of paper to read to them while whispering, and the person who has the headphones on is going to try to guess what the person is saying. They will take turns doing this in 2 rounds that are each going to last 60 seconds. Whoever can guess the most amount in that 60 seconds gets to choose who to pie in the face, either me or Will. So I say let's hop into it.
Yep, let's go.
Are you guys ready? Hey, put the headphones on.
Get those headphones on.
Okay, this is your first one. Okay, ready? Hold up.
All right, we're gonna go on 3, 2, 1, go.
Just go.
Mowing the windows. Boarding the windows. Zebra glowing the windows. Bowing the windows. I can't.
And
Throwing the
that is
windows.
time. Let's switch it up
So
real
he
quick.
got nuts. Okay.
I didn't even get zebra right.
Let's switch it up.
Zebra was right, but you didn't get the whole thing.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
All right, put those headphones on.
Certainly.
Well, I'll tell you what, the fans are down here having a good time. East Side versus West Side rivalry. You gotta love it seeing the students out here supporting both teams. 7-0 to score. The Giants on top of the Warren Central Warriors after 1 half of play. We've had a lot of turnovers. We've had a lot of flags. We've had a lot of fireworks, but only 7 points on the board. Exactly how we like it on an East Side versus West Side rivalry, Josh.
Well, here we go, Logan. Warren Central gonna get the ball first to start off this half. They have a chance to shake off that probably one of their worst first halves of the season.
Fox has it teed up, boots this one deep. Price, the return man, grabs it right at the 10-yard line and has a hole to the left side for being gobbled up by a couple of Ben Davis Giants, and he'll be brought down right at the 22-yard line to start this second half of play.
You know, Logan, just looking back at my notes from the first half, Warren Central had 6 drives in that first half. Only one of them wound up in Ben Davis territory. So the field position has certainly played a factor in this one, and Ben Davis has definitely had their chances as they have had a lot of opportunities to get themselves in Warren Central territory. So that's probably the first thing that needs to be addressed. Can Warren Central get into Ben Davis territory, and when they do, can they find a way to capitalize?
Moore coming out to lead the offense, going to start under center for Warren Central. Giants showing blitz, and it will be a handoff to Wells. He's met immediately at the line, but able to fall forward to the 25-yard line. Ramel Williams in there on the tackle.
We have big 99 right there, Malik Temple, almost getting him down in the backfield, but Wells doing a good job just reading his blocks and pushing for as many yards as he could get on that carry.
Second down. It's like 7 yards to go, as Moore is going to come out of the shotgun set. 2 receivers top side. And Moore looking that way. Quick out route to Price. Price with room to run. And he'll be pushed out of bounds right at the 38-yard line. As once again, first down, Warren Central. Capone Powell in on the tackle.
There you go, Logan. 13-yard pickup there by Eli Price. And I'm not sure we talked about this tonight. Eli Price is a state champion runner. He ran to the 4x100 for Warren Central last year. Certainly a big play threat because of that track speed.
Absolutely, you see it there, getting to the edge as Moore goes with a hard count. Getting play call from the sideline again as the Warriors have some offensive success here to start this second half of play. Couldn't find the end zone in the first half. Moore. Handoff to Wells. And he breaks a couple tackles in the backfield, but gets him pretty much back to the line of scrimmage as the Giants were all in on that pick a giant of your choosing.
Yeah, that was another good stop by Ben Davis right there. They could have had the tackle for loss right there, but Wells is just so tough to bring down. It's like you said, Logan, it took 2 or 3 guys right there in purple shirts to knock him down.
Collins and Hardesty both in there to start as it's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Moore now going out of the shotgun set. Looks left again, out route to Price. And he will be dropped right at the 43-yard line.
Dalen Carnell coming up with that stop there, and that was a clean tackle right there. Just good form, wrapping your arms, driving your hips, and Price was hardly able to get any yards after the catch.
We talk about taking what the defense gives you, and right now the Giants are willing to give that quick pass out to Price to Warren Central, and they're taking it. 3rd and 5 now. So we've played 2 minutes already in this third quarter.
Big third down coming up, Logan. Let's see what happens.
Moore with a delayed handoff to Wells, and he rumbles and tumbles his way up to the 47-yard line. It's going to be a yard shy. 4th down coming up for Warren Central.
Well, if you're Warren here, Logan, I would definitely consider going for it. I know you're still on your side of the field, but considering how important this drive is from establishing that tone in the second half, it doesn't hurt to at least try and get the defense to jump off sides, but looks like they're going to send the punting unit out.
After much deliberation there on the Warren Central sideline, like you said, opting to punt this one away. Looking to play a little bit of field position game with the Giants. No one back to return for Ben Davis.
Considering who the punter is, they could run a fake. Here we go. No, it's just a rugby-style kick.
Wells takes his time, high arcing kick, and that will take a Warren Central hop back right at the 16-yard line.
Looked like there was some jaw-jacking going on over on the Ben Davis 40-yard line. A couple of Warriors getting in the face of Jalen Dobson, and we'll see if that's an unsportsmanlike penalty.
Yeah, we see a flag out there on the field as 2 officials discussing this one. Nonetheless, a good punt there from Randy Wells. And it's going to go against, it looks like, Warren Central. As it does appear to be unsportsmanlike conduct on Warren Central, but the officials over here talking to Coach West. That's where the official initially pointed to.
Meanwhile, Logan got a couple other scores from around the MIC. Center Grove is leading North Central at the half 7-0. Lawrence Central in a close one with Pike 8-6. Seems more like a baseball score than a football score. And then here's the biggest shocker so far. Lawrence North, the Wildcats, over Carmel 10-0 at the half.
A couple low-scoring affairs, and we're right there with them here on the west side. 7-0 Ben Davis on top of Warren Central. Finally, the officials getting it sorted out as a face mask on Ben Davis on the return, so that pushes them back to the 9-yard line. That's where Trent Gibson and the Giants set up shop to start the second half. Hassel in motion. Gibson keeps it himself, burst up the middle, and finally dragged down right at the 19-yard line. First down, Ben Davis.
Oh, man, Gibson could have broken that open, but that was a great tackle right there by the Warren Central secondary. And we said at the half that the running game hasn't been as big of an impact for Ben Davis. I mean, Warren Central has certainly had to respect it, but Gibson there doing a great job getting some open field finally.
Gibson looks right side, fakes again, open field, and he will be brought down from behind. Ball comes out, picked up by Warren Central. Willie Eaton rumbling the other way, and touchdown Warren Central. You can't be serious. As Gibson thought he was down, fumble from behind. Willie Eaton scoop and score. Warren Central gets their first touchdown off of a 30-yard fumble return score.
Well, Logan, we talked about this at the top of the break. I mean, Ben Davis, they had to do a good job and just execute for 24 minutes. This is almost a copy and paste from last week against Center Grove when Gibson fumbled the ball himself and Center Grove would wound up scoring. But now the Warriors are right back in this ball game.
My goodness. What a play there. Warren Central's defense making it happen. Joe Jackson out there to tie it up. Wellman going to be the long snapper. High snap. Tavernier gets it down, and Jackson just gets it up. 7-7 is the score as Warren Central ties it up. What a play there. As you saw, Warren Central, Lee Alexander initially making the fumble, the freshman coming back, making his presence known in the Ben Davis-Warren Central rivalry game.
Lee Alexander, my goodness, he's making a name for himself tonight, coming up with that sack near the end of the first half and now getting the coveted blood belt for Warren Central.
And you see here Gibson, plenty of space, great blocking up front, and it was Alexander come from behind right there to force the fumble. Eaton picks it up, breaks a couple tackles, and it was Warren Central with the answer just when it looked like Ben Davis had everything rolling. Again, a turnover costs the Giants a score. What a play there, and this has been one of the most bizarre football games I think I've ever been a part of, Josh.
I think anytime we work together, Logan, we always find a way to get ourselves in some sort of bizarre ball game, but again, just so many fireworks, but not enough points to show up for it. At this point, it's just a matter of, again, we keep repeating this, it just comes down to execution. Who can make the least mistakes at this point in the ball game and put their team in good position to win?
8:25 on the clock. Jackson has the ball up on the 40, ready to kick it away. This one going to be a deep ball and will not be returned. A great kickoff there for Warren Central as the Giants will take over now at the 20-yard line. You got to think the momentum shifting towards the Warren Central Warriors. 7-7 ball game.
Most definitely, Logan. And if you're Trent Gibson, I mean, you hear this cliche all the time in pro sports, but you just got to have a short memory. I mean, with Gibson, I mean, he has had turnover issues throughout his career. He threw 12 interceptions last year. He's on pace to do the same thing, and not to mention the amount of lost fumbles he's had this year. So if you're Gibson, you've got to do a better job of securing the football and putting your team in good position to move the ball down the field.
Well, they were moving it well, but a fumble cost him on the last series. Hassel with it, gets to the edge, and it'll be chopped down right at the 21-yard line. Great play there coming in by Jalen Frazier.
There's a lot of horizontal running. I mean, Hassel was hardly able to pick up anything vertically, though. We were wondering when he was finally going to cut it upfield, but when he did, it was too little too late.
dig that foot in the ground and get upfield and couldn't quite do it. Warren Central setting the edge well. 3 receivers, bottom side of the screen. Gibson out of the shotgun. Again, looking left side, quick pass out to Reese, turns to further corner, and he'll be brought down by Leal Warren. First 2 for the Warriors. Gain of a couple.
You saw in that play, the Warren Central secondary, they were just sitting in that zone, just waiting for Reese to come down with that ball. It's almost like they weren't even respecting the deep threat that Jaden Brown was running on that play.
3rd and 6 now for the Ben Davis Giants. Ball on the 24-yard line. Again, 3 receivers now, top side of the screen. Cushenberry shifts over to Gibson's right in the backfield. 3 men down on the line for the Warriors. Man in motion, Gibson keeps it himself. Steps up, throws a deep ball. Incomplete. No flags on the play. Jaden Brown, the intended target. And once again, Taz Relford coming up with a deflection.
That's just some excellent coverage right there. I'm sure there were some upset Ben Davis Giant fans on that play, but again, clean coverage by Relford. The ball was in a good position too. Brown could have had a chance to come up with it, but good no call.
So now Gibson back to punt, standing at his own 10-yard line. Price standing at his 35, set to return. High snap, Gibson gets it off. High kick, and we're gonna see a fair catch called right there from Price as Warren Central will start out at the 44-yard line. The Marriott East Center is a strong supporter of mixed sports and the Big Network Game of the Week. Marriott East is a premier hotel located just minutes from downtown. Next time you're looking for a hotel room or a place for your meeting or conference, check in with the Marriott East Indianapolis. 6:51 to go in the 3rd quarter, 7-7. It was in the 2nd quarter, Elijah Hassel had a 33-yard scamper for the first score of the game, and just early in this 2nd half, Willie Eaton takes a 30-yard fumble return, scoop and score to get Warren Central on the board. Moore under center. Hand off to Wells. Spins forward, stays on his feet somehow. Randy Wells gets chopped down at the 30-yard line, falls forward down at the 27. There's the explosive play that the Warriors were looking for.
I thought for sure Wells was going to be brought down for a 10-yard gain, but he just look at the balance right here, rolling off of the would-be tackler. Taking a look at the replay, yeah. Woo. Somehow is able to keep his knee off the turf, pick up way more yards.
Wow, what a play. I thought Charles Knuckles had the play, and Wells just rolling through it, keeping that knee off the ground. And again, they'll go to Wells, left side, burst in the open field. And again, he'll fall forward to the 13-yard line. It was Charles Knuckles again making the tackle. First down, Warren Central.
And here you go. Here comes R.J. Wells picking up 29 yards on that previous play. 14 yards on that one. Wells is finally starting to wear down that Ben Davis defense.
Wells with 2 fumbles early in the first half as well. Very uncharacteristic of him. Looking to make up for lost time. And bunch set is Moore. Going with the hard count. Giants showing blitz. Play action. Moore looking in the flat. Makes the completion to Chris Atkins, who will be shoved out of bounds. Gain of 2 on the play.
It was a good stop there by Jimmy Phil-Samey. And receiver there, he could have had a chance to break it upfield, but just, again, clean coverage there by Phil-Samey on that one.
Well, this is the play action that we know that Ben Davis has really been keen in on, trying to limit the big play, and there they answer the call. Again, Moore under center. Handoff Wells, bouncing outside, works back in, and will be dropped for a gain of 3 on the play. Well, making the tackle was Capone Powell.
If you're Jason West, you just got to keep riding the hot hand right there. I mean, Wells is just so tough to bring down the backfield. I mean, like you said, Logan, he did have those 2 fumbles in the first half, but he's one of the returning starters from that state champion squad last year. He knows how to bounce back after some personal setbacks. He's just the definition of this resilient Warren Central squad.
3rd and 4, ball on the 7-yard line. Moore out of shotgun, rolls right, throwing it back, looking for Allen. Plenty of contact, incomplete. Warriors not going to get the flag that they wanted there.
And that was just not a very well executed play right there. Allen was the only receiver in that area. There wasn't even some guy trailing across the back of the end zone on that play. Just not the best play design.
Looking for that comeback, but Jalen Dobson was all over it, not allowing Allen to get turned as the kicking team going to come on out.
Jackson missed one earlier, and that was closer to midfield, closer to the left hash, and he hooked it wide left, so we'll see how this hash, the field position will affect this kick.
24-yard field goal attempt, ball on the right hash like you mentioned. Jackson gets it up, and this one is true. Joe Jackson knocking in the 24-yard field goal to give the Warren Central Warriors their first lead of the evening with 4:34 to go in the third quarter.
So here we go, Logan. Warren Central scoring 10 unanswered in this third quarter. Ben Davis finding themselves, unfortunately, in a familiar position, down now. This is just the critical point of this ball game. How do the Giants respond? Will they find a way to bounce back, or will they succumb to other miscues that have cost them earlier in this ball game?
Well, the MIG Network would like to welcome back Papa John's as a title partner for the MIG Network Game of the Week. With over 30 locations in the central Indiana area, great pizza is always nearby. So after this game, enjoy a hot, delicious Papa John's pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. This was a game where the Ben Davis Giants had the momentum going into half, up 7-0. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, the third quarter has belonged to the Warren Central Warriors, getting a scoop and score 30-yard touchdown, and then Randy Wells jump-starting this last offensive series to end in 3 points as the Warren Central Warriors go on top 10-7. Kickoff going to be back in the end zone, won't be returned, and that seemed to be a point of emphasis as well for Coach West's squad, is working on the kick returns as they gave up 2 special teams touchdowns against Warren Central last week.
Certainly, and we touched about, too, the special teams, how that might be one of the weakest areas of this Warren Central squad, but if Jackson can keep banging those kicks through the end zone and not even give Ben Davis a chance to return those, that's only going to bode well for Warren Central, as Ben Davis is going to be forced to start in their own territory, something they haven't done, they didn't do as much in that first half.
Well, here now, if you're the Giants, Joss, you got to think. You want to get back to what was working in that first half, get back to those RPOs and get Trick Gibson the ball in the open field. Hassel in motion from left to right, handoff Hassel working upfield, and he's met immediately in the backfield there. Loss of 3 on the play. My goodness, Andrew Nelson gave him a good hello.
Well, Nelson, Robledo, seemed like every white shirt and golden helmet was there. This linebacker crew, I've been really impressed with them tonight, Logan.
Absolutely, they've answered the call for the Warren Central Warriors. 4 minutes remain in the third quarter. Gibson, again, rolling right side on the bootleg, has to cut back under pressure, throws off his back foot, gets the completion to Dalen Carnell, who gets a hard-earned 8 yards up to the 25-yard line. What a play from that junior.
There's that shiftiness again from Trent Gibson. He looked like he could have been brought down for a sack there. Just doing a good job, moving outside of the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield. And that's a great individual effort by Carnell to come up with the catch and a couple extra yards.
3rd and 5 for this Giants offense. Again, Gibson now the shotgun. Keeps it himself right side, has a hole. Makes one man miss as Willie Eaton drags him down right at the 35-yard line. First down, Ben Davis.
There you go, Logan. Getting the ball back to Trent Gibson's hands. I mean, yes, he did have that fumble early on in this second half, but again, you need to have that short memory because these guys are relying on you. You are one of the best players on this squad and unquestionably a leader for this Giants team.
This time, handoff Cushenberry up the middle. He plows forward up to the 39-yard line. Finally, Robledo bringing him down.
Good job by Cushenberry there. He hasn't really gotten as many touches as he would hope for this year, but still good in limited spurts throughout the season.
Nice play call there. A delayed handoff really caught the Warren Central defense off guard. Starting to see some hands on the hips from this defense of the Warriors. Ben Davis starting to move the ball down the field. 2nd and 6. Gibson looks left side, throws one out, gets Reese. He'll be brought down immediately by Leal Warren, but still, gain of a couple puts the ball right at the 44-yard line. And going to be a short third down coming up.
That was good coverage right there. I mean, Warren read that well. Lyle Warren, excuse me. But yeah, you saw the receivers on that bottom side of your screen just running quick outs, and the Warren Central secondary just doing a good job anticipating that.
3rd and 2 now. Gibson again keeps it himself and has a hole. He'll be brought down right at the 50 as the ball comes out again, this time calling him down. Once again, coming in was Jalen Frazier for the tackle, but Warren Central has got to get a man on Trent Gibson on these RPOs, as he's just having a day right now with Warren Central.
Oh, certainly. And it looks like we got some confusion going on the field momentarily, but yeah, back to your point, Logan. Gibson, he's done a good job shaking off that fumble in the 3rd quarter.
Right now moving the ball with ease as this Giants offense has already moved the ball 30 yards down the field. Again, Gibson rolling right side. Plenty of time, now under pressure, rolling back to the middle. Has a man open. Wow, what a grab. What a grab there from Jaden Brown, catching it right at the 40-yard line. A broken play, and the Giants come out on top.
That was like Manziel-esque, Baker Mayfield-esque, take your pick right there. I mean, Gibson was just doing a great job buying time all day, and he somehow was able to get enough air under that ball and find a way into the hands of Brown.
Jaden Brown been a little quiet tonight. 9 receptions for 106 yards coming into this game. 2nd and 1. As the Giants catching their breath, under 5 on the play clock. Again, Gibson, handoff, Hassel outside, shifty move, now backpedaling as he'll be pushed out just past the 35-yard line. 1st down, Ben Davis.
That's some great blocking right there on the left side. You had some crack blocks there by the receiver. It looked like Jaden Brown was involved there, but Hassel again, he's just so difficult to bring down the open space. Very shifty for a little man.
1st and 10, ball on the 34-yard line, under a minute to play in this 3rd quarter. The Giants are rolling as you see Gibson taking a second to catch his breath. Now takes it left side, following his blocker. Brought down from behind right at the 30-yard line, as that was Alexander again making the play.
And you have to be really impressed with how these Giants have been moving the ball downfield. At this point, they've been driving 50 yards on this possession. This is certainly the most sustained possession that they have, arguably all season, Logan.
Absolutely, as the clock keeps ticking and the Giants keep moving. Looking to answer the 3 points that the Warren Central Warriors just put up on a 24-yard field goal from Joe Jackson to give Warren Central the 3-point lead. Gibson alone in the backfield. Brings Hassel in motion. Gets the snap, keeps it himself, takes it right side, and will push his way forward just past the 25-yard line. Coming up with the tackle was Jalen Frazier, as that will take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Ben Davis moving the ball well, but it's the Warren Central Warriors on top, 10-7, entering the 4th quarter. Tyler, what do you see down there on the field? We're going to take a quick break here. 4th quarter action on its way next here on the MIC Network Game of the Week.
What if a car company didn't just build better cars, but help build something more, like community, family, futures? We're Honda, and we're building something more right here in Indiana.
We're back here on the MIC Network Game of the Week. 10-7 your score. Tyler locked down on the sideline. Tyler, what do you have for us?
Talk about night and day. That second half has begun by being dominated by Warren Central. Whatever Coach West told the guys coming out of halftime has definitely worked. It was a scoop and score touchdown that got the game tied up, and then a field goal off big runs by Randy R.J. Wells that has set them up with this 10-7 lead and the momentum headed to the 4th quarter. But can they keep it up? We have 12 minutes here in the 95th meeting of the Circle City Showdown to figure that out. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after this. You're watching the MIC Network Game of the Week.
Thanks to Front Runner, the MIC Network Game of the Week.
We're back on the MIC Network Game of the Week. Olajuwon Hassel just with a 20-yard run there for Ben Davis as the Giants are rolling, heading into this fourth quarter action in the red zone. First and goal, ball on the 5-yard line. Gibson out of the shotgun, and whoa, there was a lot of movement there. That's going to be a false start on Ben Davis, going to push him back.
Well, up until that play, Logan, I mentioned this earlier at the end of the third quarter. This was their most sustained drive. That was play number 11 of the drive right here. And, you know, penalties like that, that's only going to stall things and get things out of rhythm. So let's see how Ben Davis responds.
First and goal now from the 10-yard line. Penalties like that can be drive killers. But the Giants find themselves down by 3 entering this fourth quarter. Again, Gibson in the backfield. Fakes the pitch to Hassel. Gibson up the middle, diving in. Trent Gibson puts the Giants on top. Ben Davis with the answer. Goes 80 yards down the field for 6. What a play from Trent Gibson, the senior quarterback, looking for a win here against the crosstown rival in the 95th Circle City Showdown.
Logan, just looking out on the pregame today, it was a quiet afternoon, but there was only one player that was noticeable on the field in warm-ups, and that was the man himself, number 4, the QB. He was dialed in, locked in, ready to go, and you see he is ready to get this Giants team a win in the Circle City Showdown.
And a very important extra point kicked in there by Zach Fox. 14-10 is the score after the touchdown. So the Giants able to answer Warren Central as the Warriors from the east side have their work cut out for them in these final 11 minutes.
Well, you finally electrified the crowd, too. You have fans on both sides just amped up and ready to go. This is going to be a fantastic finish, Logan.
Once again, you wonder what exactly Warren Central is going to get to offensively. Randy Wells had some success in the last series, but the Giants held tough when they needed to. You got to think Kobe Moore is going to have to start making some plays with his arm if the Warriors want to get back into this game.
Well, certainly, and Moore has certainly not been afraid to take those deep shots downfield, but every time it's either been overthrown or you've had a poor decision-making with an interception like you saw in the first half. So just overall, Moore's execution has to be pinpoint down the stretch in this ball game.
And you have to tip your cap to this Ben Davis defense as well for making that happen. Running out of that 3-4 set, they've really made Warren Central just uncomfortable all night offensively.
Oh, certainly, Logan. And like we mentioned, R.J. Wells has gotten his yards. And Coach Simmons knew he was going to get his yards, but it was just a matter of bending but not breaking to this Warren Central squad.
Price with a good return gets out to the 21-yard line off of that kickoff return. So the Warren Central Warriors come out on the field down 14-10 to the West Side rivals, the Ben Davis Giants, looking for what would be the biggest win of their season so far.
This would arguably, if Ben Davis is able to pull this out, you could say this is season-changing right here. You come into this game 1-3, only pick up a win against Pike, and luckily because of a failed two-point conversion attempt, you could easily be 0-4 heading into this ball game. But a win right here, if you're Ben Davis, you could care less if you lose every other game the rest of the season. If you win this game tonight, that is going to be the story of your season.
Well, here comes the handoff to Wells as he shakes a couple tacklers, but gets right back to the line of scrimmage as he is just swarmed by the men in purple.
Saw Charles Knuckles on that play, Maneas Collins, just guys swarming all over the ball. They are determined.
2nd and 11 now for Warren Central as Wells couldn't quite get back to the line of scrimmage. Moore out of the shotgun set. Looking left side, quick out route to Brown, and he tumbles out of play. But that will be before he gets 5 yards. So Warren Central now on a 3rd and manageable.
Once again, number 5 in purple was around the play. He has had himself a ball game on both sides of the ball. He nearly had that pick 6 in the first half, had some good coverage, also making some plays offensively. He is quite an athlete.
3rd and 5, Moore again looks quickly to Allen, gets to the line to gain falls forward, first down, Warren Central. Derek Allen, the senior, stepping up.
Excellent job right there by the senior. Knew where he had to get to the first down marker, and just for extra comfort, he was able to squeak out a couple extra yards on that one.
Ball on the 33-yard line. Moore again going under center this time. Still 3 men down on the line for the Giants, making a late shift. Moore, handoff Wells, bounces it outside. Absolutely nowhere to go at the bottom of the pile there. Reese Hardesty making the tackle.
The boys in the purple shirts certainly won their battles at the line of scrimmage that time. You saw Meneas Collins breaking through that line early. It seemed to only implode from there for the Warren Central offensive line.
It's been a point of emphasis so far in this Ben Davis defense, not allowing Wells to break any big rushes like he had in the last series. 2nd and 10. Again, Moore out of the shotgun, looking right, quick fire to Brown. And that will be a gain of just a few, as that will put him right at the 36-yard line.
Again, Logan, that's another one of those throws where Kobe Moore could have done a better job leading his receiver, and because of that, Brown had to come down to the ground and make that catch. When he did, ball was blown dead.
3rd and 7 with 9 minutes to go in this ball game. Moore again out of the shotgun. Gets the call from the sideline. Under 10 on the play clock. Moore moving to his left, turning, fires, looking for Brown, and he drops it. Would have been a first down. Incomplete pass, however. Brings up 4th down for the Warren Central Warriors.
Well, it's interesting they ran that rollout to the left side of the field. You have, as Kobe Moore, he's a right-handed quarterback, so you have to throw across your body. And in that, it led to an awkward throw that Brown couldn't just bring down. So just an unfortunate miscue there for the Warriors as they're forced to punt it away.
The Giants able to make the stand, so Wells coming out to punt it away. Reese hovering around his own 25-yard line. Under 9 minutes to go in this one. Wells gets a line drive kick, and this drops in. Reese will let it roll. Takes a Warrior hop inside the 20-yard line, so Ben Davis will get it at the 19, and now Warren Central going to have to rely on its defense to get him the ball back as Ben Davis walked down the field for 80 yards and a score in the last series.
And again, Ben Davis finds themselves in an unusual position. They are up ahead this late in the ball game, something that they have not been used to except for that game against Pike. So I'm really going to pay attention to the play calling here that Jason Simmons has. Does he trust his guys to go out and win this ball game with a mix of run and pass, or is he going to play conservative, try and bleed the clock, and let the defense win this one out?
Well, it's definitely a tight one here, and we have a couple score updates for you from around the MIC. Things tightening up as well. Center Grove up 10-0 on North Central. Pike up 12-8 on Lawrence Central in the 3rd quarter. And Lawrence North and Carmel all knotted up at 10 apiece in the 3rd quarter. Gibson with the option, left side, takes it up the gut, and will get a gain of about 3 on the play. Going to be brought down by Robledo. Those two have had plenty of encounters tonight.
Certainly, and Robledo at the beginning of the season was listed more as a reserve linebacker. Certainly earning his stripes tonight as he's probably played one of his better ball games.
Senior linebacker getting the start as Gibson all alone in the backfield. Time going to bring Hassel in motion again from left to right. Gibson keeps it himself up the middle, breaks the first tackle, and will finally be pulled down by Damon Jones.
And again, that play was cut back from Gibson because of 41 again, Robledo. Doing a good job setting the edge and forcing Gibson to cut back on that run. Bringing up a critical 3rd down, Logan.
For this Warren Central defense, 3rd and 3. Ball on the 26-yard line.
Crowd is getting loud. I like it.
Gibson in the backfield. Hands it off to Cushenberry, has a hole, and he'll be drugged down for a gain of 7 on the play by Nelson. First down, Ben Davis Giants.
That's a big, big run right there. Not only because you pick up the first down, but you keep the chains moving. get another set of downs, and at the very least, you can run off a minute or two off that clock.
How about that Warren Central defense freezing, looking to go for Gibson, thought he was going to keep it, and Cushenberry had a hole right at the middle. Again, Gibson looking left side, now pulls it himself, works outside to the 35, and he'll be brought down again by Taz Relford. A gain of 1 on the play.
It's a good stop right there by Relford. Only 5'10", 160 pounds, but kind of like Jay Stanberry, he doesn't really play to his size, not afraid to go up and hit somebody bigger than him.
2nd and 9 with 6:30 to go in this ball game. Right now, the Giants just bleeding that clock and moving the ball up the field as well. The senior, Trent Gibson, joined by Hassel and Cushenberry in the backfield. Handoff Hassel gets to the edge, working outside towards the 50, finally brought down. First down, Ben Davis Giants, as that has been the go-to play all night.
Certainly, Logan. That's a critical 15-yard pickup there by Hassel. And again, when you get him in open space, he does a good job there, just cutting upfield, finding that lane, picking up extra yards. And now the Giants are not only in great field position, but they get to run off some more clock. And if they do have to punt here after 3 downs, they're going to pin the Warriors back on their side of the field with under 6 minutes, at the very least under 6 minutes to go.
Again, first down from the 50-yard line, and looks like we have a flag out there on the field. Going to be a false start on the Giants. Like you said, those plays like that, those penalties can be absolutely killing to a drive.
Oh, certainly, and probably on that last series when Gibson was able to scramble in for a touchdown, that was the first time really that Ben Davis was able to overcome a penalty.
1st and 15 from the Giants' own 45-yard line. Once again, Warren Central with all 3 timeouts. Gotta think those might come into play here shortly. Gibson again.
Oh,
ball on the ground!
Picked up by Warren.
Warren Central with it off the miscue. Gibson and Hassel didn't know who was taking it, and Marquise Cross comes up with the fumble recovery. Take the Warriors off life support, they're back in it.
Oh my goodness, how could you make a mistake like this? You gotta have a clean exchange between Gibson and Hassel, and right there just, again, that was just another mental miscue right there. Marquise Cross, the returning starter from last year, picks it up, and the Warriors are back in business.
The defending champs still have some work to do. Down by 4, ball on the 40-yard line. This Ben Davis defense has held tough so far in this 4th quarter.
This is probably the best starting field position for Warren Central all night. You have to capitalize if you're Kobe Moore.
Moore looking long, and there's the flag. Allen couldn't get out as Dalen Carnell pleading his case. You see 2 flags right there. This one gonna be, looks like, called on Carnell or Allen. We'll see if it's offensive or defensive pass interference, as the officials would like to huddle. We saw Moore with the pump fake and was looking for Allen. We'll see what the official call is. All the umpires having a long discussion.
You would think it's a no-brainer against Carnell because Allen was nowhere near that ball. He was just trying to fight through that contact, but we'll see what the officials decide here.
This could be a hold here. We'll see exactly what the call is. And it is holding on Ben Davis, and then offensive pass interference on Warren Central. The penalties will offset.
That was a good call there, Logan, on the offensive pass interference. I didn't necessarily see that there. I will have to take a look at the replay, but you have to argue that that offensive pass interference was crucial because you had a first down there with that defensive hold.
Nonetheless, 1st and 10 again from the 40. Let's run it back as Moore gonna take the snap. Look, left side. Owen in the middle, it's tipped. Incomplete pass there as the Giants once again all over that one. Nearly picked off. My goodness.
Good read right there by Phil Samey. You saw the guys on the left side of that screen just abandon that man for Warren Central, try to make a play on the ball. I mean, that was a big risk, but at the same time, that almost paid off big for them.
Remember that extra point by Fox turning out to be crucial. The Warriors need 6 to take the lead. A field goal won't do with 5:13 on the clock. 2nd and 10. Moore rolling left side, pulls up, throws it deep for Allen, and that's going to be out of bounds, incomplete.
And that was just clean coverage right there. Excellent job there by Capone Powell. I mean, he was with him stride for stride. Moore had to put it in a spot where only his guy could get it, and unfortunately Brown wasn't able to come away with that one. Or excuse me, Allen.
3rd and 10 now for the Warren Central Warriors. This Ben Davis defense has been tough this whole 4th quarter, not allowing an inch from the Warriors.
Moore's been 0 for 3 on this drive. Can he finally complete one?
Moore keeps it himself, has a hole up the middle. 1st down, Warren Central down at the 29-yard line. Knuckles coming up with the tackle. And that fooled everyone.
I was going to say the exact same thing. Moore, you only saw like 1 or 2 scrambles from him throughout this entire ball game. I mean, he's quite an athlete himself, but he's more of a pocket presence passer, but still excellent play call there by Jason West.
Got a lead block here from Wells, and Moore did the rest. Under 5 minutes to go now in this 4th quarter. Ball on the 29-yard line. Wells just to Moore's left in the backfield. Moore, handoff, Wells up the gut. Breaks a tackle, falls forward just past the 25-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play.
Just keep looking at that clock, Logan. There's still enough time with under 4.5 to go. But meanwhile for Ben Davis, if Warren Central finds their way into the end zone, how much time will the Giants have to work with?
Quickly now, Moore looks left side, pump fakes, looks long for Allen, has him, goes up, and touchdown Warren Central! Derek Allen goes over the top and puts the Warren Central Warriors on top of the Ben Davis Giants, 16-14 with 3:57 to play. A 25-yard strike here. Allen winning the 50-50 ball.
You said it, Logan. Capone Powell had decent coverage on that play, but Allen just willed himself into that, climbing the imaginary ladder, bringing that ball down, putting the Warriors back in front.
Here's an important extra point from Jackson. And looks like just put that through, 17-14. Now it's the Ben Davis Giants who have some work to do with under 4 to go. As we take a look back at this score, Moore with the pump fake throws it up. And what a play from Derek Allen. We've seen that play before in this game. The Giants had covered it well the previous times, but if at first you don't succeed, try and try again.
And what's not being talked about is the pass protection too. Randy Wells Jr. saw an incoming blitzer, picked him up at the last second before Kobe Moore got hit, and Moore got just enough time to get that ball away.
Well, this all started off of that fumble recovery by Marquise Cross when Trent Gibson and Olajuwon Hassel had a miscommunication right at the 40-yard line, dropped it on that RPO. Cross was all over it and gave the Warren Central Warriors some life back in them, as it seemed like the Giants were going to walk right down the field like they had the previous couple series. And now the pressure's back on the Warren Central defense as the Ben Davis Giants, like we said, in this 4th quarter, have kind of had their way so far.
Certainly, Logan, and it's going to be interesting. You have plenty of time if you're Ben Davis here, but as you start to look at that clock ticking down, what do you go with here? Do you stick with the running game that's been starting to wear down this Warren Central defense, or do you try to push it through the air?
I think at this point, you look for the short passes, you look to get to the edge, you look to break the big ones. Up the gut may not work at this point. Still, you have some clock to work with. You don't have to completely abandon the run, but you have to be very cautious as they're going to get a return on this one. Hassel fields it at the 5. Looking outside, breaks the first tackle, trying to get to the edge, and finally chopped down by Stanberry. And a long field to work with as the Ben Davis Giants will take over at the 17-yard line with 3:49 to play. 17-14, the #1 team in the state, the Warren Central Warriors on top of the West Side rival, the Ben Davis Giants.
Well, something that's been really significant, and I mentioned this before in the 3rd quarter, but Ben Davis in their starting field position, in this half alone, they started on their own 9, their own 20, their own 20 again, as well as the 19 and the 17. So a lot of possession starting on their half of the field instead of Warren Central territory where they saw a lot of their first half possession. So certainly have some digging to do within these last 4 minutes.
Senior quarterback Gibson put him on top in this quarter with a score early. Needs to do it again. Keeps it himself. Left side has a hole. He spins forward up near the 29-yard line. First down, Ben Davis. And that will stop the clock momentarily.
Good run by Gibson there. Just he saw the hole and he zoomed right through, picking up 12 yards on that carry.
Once again, the Giants with all 3 timeouts to work with. A field goal would tie it. Again, Fox has a long of 33 on the season.
He's certainly a reliable kicker, but I'm sure if you're Jason Simmons, you want to go for the win here and not force overtime.
Low snap, Hassel with it, spinning around in the backfield again, dodging Warriors left and right. Works his way to the 35.
If I'm not mistaken there in that pile, Hassel had a little bit of a hurdling moment right there too. Man, is he shifty.
How about this?
You see a down lineman on the field, man. Keelan Davis, the quick tackle it looks like, and Ben Davis offensive line, they're just suffering some more attrition down there.
Sophomore, 6'4", 260 for the Ben Davis Giants. Like I said, down there onside, getting attended to. We're gonna take a quick break. On the opposite side of this break, we'll have more fourth quarter action here from Warren Central and Ben Davis. 17-14 your score. We'll be back with fourth quarter action.
The company didn't just build better cars, but helped build something more, like community, family, futures. We're Honda, and we're building something more right here in Indiana.
We're back here at Ben Davis High School, 17-14. Warriors on top of the Ben Davis Giants. Saw Keelan Davis, the man getting attended to, walking off the sideline. It's good to see for that young man. 2nd and 4, under 3 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Hassel in motion to the near side. Gibson looks that way, throws that way, and makes the first man miss. Hassel gets to the 39-yard line and see a couple flags coming in from the officials.
I think they're going to call a hold on Chris Peters, and that was exactly why Hassel was able to break free for a couple of yards there.
And it's going to be an illegal block in the back is going to be the call. But nonetheless, like you said, right there on Chris Peters, as that will push the Giants back. As the Warriors be more than happy to accept that penalty.
So again, another drive killer right there. I mean, still have plenty of time. Under 3 minutes to go, but if you're Ben Davis, you can't afford penalties like that.
2nd and 14, ball on Ben Davis's own 25-yard line. So they need to get to the 39. 2:35 to go in the fourth quarter. 3 men down for Warren Central. Gibson, left side, pitches it to Hassel. Has the edge again, works it outside, breaks the tackle, and is finally pushed down by Jalen Frazier on the far side, just past the 25-yard line.
Again, that's just another example right there of Hassel doing all the work horizontally, but unfortunately due to some poor blocking and good defense there by Warren Central, Hassel was just able to come up with very few yards vertically.
3rd and 14 now. As Ben Davis in definite 2-down territory here. And again, looking right side, Gibson showing his cards, and is going to be brought down for a sack at the 20-yard line.
Looks like Damon Jones, his first sack of the year, and that could not come at a better time.
Huge sack by Jones as that pushes the Giants all the way back to the 20-yard line.
And how have you not taken a timeout
down
yet?
And finally, Coach Simmons taking that timeout as you called for, Josh, as Warren Central starting to smell this one.
That's just poor clock management right there. You got to keep in mind if Gibson was going to go down, you still had 3 timeouts to use.
Well, the MIG Network would like to take this time to welcome back Papa John's as a title partner for the MIG Network Game of the Week. With over 30 locations in the central Indiana area, great pizza is always nearby. So after the game, enjoy a hot, delicious Papa John's pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza. It's always from Papa John's. And when you support Papa John's, you are supporting high school athletics. As we're going to take this time to look around the MIC at some of the other scores and highlights of the games, as Center Grove leads North Central at half 13-3 in that one. So a fun matchup there as that North Central team, a lot better than some people might give them credit for. That defense is really strong.
Oh, certainly with North Central. I mean, they lost a lot of talent on the offensive side, and we talked about that all throughout the course of this season. But like you said, Logan, their defense has been underrated throughout the majority of the season, including taking down a very talented Lawrence North offense. Here we go. This is the play of the game right here, Logan. 4th and forever.
4th and 20. Gibson coming out. Shotgun set. 1:22 on the clock. Under pressure, Gibson rolling right side. Lets it fly, middle of the field. Dalen Carnell makes the grab and keeps the Giants alive. What a grab by Dalen Carnell all the way up to the 41.
Are you serious, Logan? Are you serious? I cannot believe the play that Carnell just made there. That was literally a wing and a prayer from Trent Gibson on that one. Carnell through double coverage, bringing that in, and you have a flag on the Ben Davis sideline for what I'm guessing is going to be a sideline warning. No, it looks like they're pointing towards...
Looks like going to be offsetting penalties here is what it looks like on both from first down, Ben Davis. Ball on the 42-yard line with 1:11 to go.
Unreal, Logan.
3-point lead still for the Warren Central Warriors. The Ben Davis Giants inching closer, however.
Have a minute left here. You definitely need to push the tempo.
Handoff, Hassel. Robledo going to drag him down right at the 38-yard line as the Giants looking to go up-tempo. Remember, 3 points could tie it here for the Ben Davis Giants.
But you got to figure, what is the range of Zach Fox here? Like you said, Logan, he's only kicked to 30. His long of the year is a 33-yard field goal. So if you're going to guess by that, 35, 33-yarder, you need to get it to inside the 20.
Gibson rolling left side. Fires one again to Carnell. What a play again. Down at the 29-yard line. First down, Ben Davis with 25 seconds on the clock.
And this is exactly why Carnell is getting all of these high major Division I offers for football. It's because of plays like that. Using his athleticism, and it looked like there was going to be nothing there, but Carnell using his frame, bringing it down, keeping his feet in bounds, and keeping this Ben Davis drive alive with under 30 to go.
Mentioned the Giants still with some timeouts on the board. Have some room to work now with 25 seconds. Gibson, again out of the shotgun. Warriors bringing blitz. Handoff, Hassel, and he's brought down right at the 28-yard line, and a quick timeout from Coach Simmons will leave Ben Davis with one timeout remaining with 22 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
Oh man, Logan, I'm on the edge of my seat right now. Man, this is just a fantastic finish to another classic in the Circle City Showdown.
We always say, throw out the stats, throw out the records, throw them all out in these rivalry games. You never know what could happen. An up and down affair where both teams in that first half moved the ball so well, and their drives ended in turnovers or ended with a missed field goal. Both teams had one of those. It was 7-0 at halftime. Hassel got in for a 33-yard score, but then it was Warren Central that got things going in that second half. They got themselves on the board as well with a scoop and score by Willie Eaton, and then a late field goal from Joe Jackson. And you just saw here in the fourth quarter, Derek Allen grabbing in a 25-yard touchdown pass as Warren Central got up late, but it's been a back-and-forth battle, and right now it's Ben Davis who might get the last say.
Well, we'll see, Logan. You can see the desperation for this Ben Davis Giants squad. They have been hungry for a win, especially against Warren Central, a team that embarrassed them twice last year. And what a way this would be to turn around their season. But I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. They still got some yards to get and a potential field goal to tie this game up.
2nd and 8, 22 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Gibson looking left side, fires one out to Hassel out of the backfield, and he will be brought down. Still churning those feet right at the 7-yard line with 14 seconds to go as the Giants are going to look to clock this thing.
Well, you still have one timeout here, but smart move by the Ben Davis offense with the clock stopped. You want to spike it here, save that timeout in case they get knocked down in bounds.
What a play here from Ben Davis. 12 seconds, ball on the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal with 1 timeout remaining. Oh my goodness, this game always delivers. And at this point, with 12 seconds, 1 timeout, the run is still available.
Certainly, Logan. And like we said, they still have 1 timeout to use. So the entire field is available to you, and you do have multiple options to take shots to the end zone. What you don't want to do here, Logan, is turn the ball over, clearly. But you also want to make sure that you don't even back yourselves up further because you are in field goal range for Zach Fox.
Absolutely. Watch out for Dalen Carnell, isolated up top. Gibson keeps it himself, and he's chopped down right at the 9-yard line. Timeout comes in from Coach Simmons with 8 seconds to go.
At the very least, that ball moves moves the ball closer to center field, gives Zach Fox an easier range to kick the field goal. Remember, he missed a field goal earlier on in this game from around this part of the field on the left side. So if you can get this ball towards the center, even towards the right, that's going to put Zach Fox in better position to make this kick if they do have to kick it.
Well, here's the scenario. 3rd and 8. 8 yards to go for what would be the go-ahead touchdown. Ball right, like Josh said, in the middle of the field. No more timeouts. 8 seconds on the clock. You got to think, if I'm Coach Simmons over there, I'm looking to Dalen Carnell and said, you got us here. I'm throwing one up right up for him and let him try to take it himself home.
It certainly doesn't help. You have Carnell, you have Jaden Brown. Again, we've talked about this throughout the broadcast. You have 2 6-foot-plus receivers, and Jaden Brown at 6'5". You have Dalen Carnell, who is 6'3" himself. Some big body receivers, so if you do go for that fade route, you can throw it to one of your big targets to let it haul them in.
And remember, Warren Central still with some timeouts left, so if they want to see what formation the Giants come out on, they could burn one and try to use one as a defensive timeout. And it looks like that's what they just might do here, as Coach West is taking a timeout. Wanted to see the formation that Ben Davis came out with, and they're going to burn one of their timeouts. Smart play there from the coaching staff of the Warriors.
You almost wonder with that formation if that was going to be a rollout to the right side. I mean, you had 3 receivers flooded there. So, again, good call by Jason West, calling the timeout, just getting a look offensively or getting a look of the Ben Davis offense and just give themselves some extra minutes to consider how they're going to play this.
Well, we'd like to take this time to thank our partners, Papa John's and the Marriott East, for making coverage of mixed sports possible. Both have been instrumental in our 4 years of providing the best coverage of high school sports and giving our student crew members a great opportunity to develop their skills. We hope you'll make it a point to support them because they continue to support our students.
Well, Logan, while we have a quick break, Lawrence North and Carmel, with a little over a minute left, are tied at 17. Donovan McCulley found Omar Cooper for a 16-yard touchdown pass in the closing minutes of the 4th quarter. Man, how good have those two been?
Omar Cooper making a name for himself just like Dalen Carnell is here in this game.
They're going to change up the formation now. Instead of a 1-by-3, you have 2-by-3. Gibson all alone in the backfield. You have to take a shot to the end zone.
Remember, 8 seconds. Ben Davis out of timeouts. Gibson looking left side, throws it up for Carnell, and it's deflected, incomplete. Therese Reed making the deflection for Warren Central. They got the play they wanted, had the pass, but Reed making the better defensive play, and now here comes the senior, Zach Fox, out onto the field to try to tie things up.
And that was excellent coverage there by Reed. Played that cleanly, played the ball, not the receiver. And that was actually a decent throw by Gibson. Trying to throw it high, let Carnell go up and get it. But here we go. This is for overtime right here, Logan.
25-yarder, middle of the field, snaps low, and it's blocked. Warren Central will come away with this victory as Ben Davis is tackled out of bounds. There's a late flag, though, coming out onto the field. There is a late flag out on the field as the kick was blocked. We'll see what the officials say on this one. But if it stands, Warren Central might have just escaped with a victory, but a late flag coming in from the backside judge.
Well, while the officials deliberate, it looked like it was not a good hold. You saw the holder struggling to field that ball. Let's take a look at the replay right here. You had Rob Peters as the holder. Not a clean operation. Bad snap to begin with. And because of that, Zach Fox had to rush that kick, and it came in low, and that's exactly why Warren Central came in with that block to seal another win in the Circle City Showdown.
Well, we'll see what this penalty is here, as there were a couple Warriors that came out onto the field early before that ball got out of bounds. As we take a look from the official.
My speculation is because the officials are talking to Jason West, it's a blindside. It's a penalty on Warren Central.
And that's going to give Ben Davis now a second opportunity.
Oh my goodness, I spoke too soon.
As they had too many men out on the field. We mentioned some guys coming out there before that ball actually rolled out of bounds. It was a live ball. So now it moves the ball forward up to about the 4-yard line, so inching it closer now for Fox as he gets another look from 22 yards out.
My goodness, you're going to get a timeout there. You see defensive coordinator for Warren Central, Russ Mann, is incensed. And it looked like they had 12 men out there again for Warren Central.
They did have 12 men, and we saw Warren Central again having to use a timeout. Thought they had it sealed up, but that ball just hung in bounds. And the Warriors sideline celebrating a bit too early. Could end up being costly, as now the Giants get a second opportunity from 3 yards closer. Oh my goodness. This game, like we said, always delivers.
I'm just trying to imagine what Zach Fox is feeling out there right now. You thought the game was over. You were in agonizing pain. And you find out you get a second chance at this inside the 5-yard line, setting up what's probably going to be a 16, 17-yard field goal. So, again, second life for Fox here. He's got to be chomping at the bit here.
Well, here's Cameron Kelly as well, the long snapper. I mentioned that first snap took a bounce the first time into the hands there of Robert Peters, of Aaron Moody.
So yeah, it's got to be a clean operation. You hear this all the time in professional football. It can either come down to the long snap, the hold, or the kick itself. It's not as always as simple as it appears to be.
Well, here it is again. This one from 21 yards out, straight on approach. As the Giants tried to get the Warriors to jump. Snaps, hold. Snaps good, holds good, and the kick is good as well. So second chance opportunity. The Giants put it through with no time left on the clock. We're tied at 17, and we will go to overtime.
Ready for a few minutes of this, partner?
Absolutely. You gotta love this one with time expiring. Love the go ahead. And who doesn't love some free football?
My goodness, Logan, this game has absolutely delivered tonight. I've seen everything, Logan, and this is my first time watching the Circle City Showdown in person right here, and I've certainly not been disappointed. This is by far one of the best rivalries in the state, if not the best rivalry in this Hoosier state.
Well, on the next side of this timeout, it will be overtime action for you. 17-17 at the end of regulation. Once again, overtime coming to you next right here on the MIC Network.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is a proud product of Frontrunner Media's Next Generation initiative. Thanks to Frontrunner, the MIC Network Game of the Week allows students around the MIC to get hands-on experience while working alongside media professionals. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the hardworking students that make it possible. The MIC Network, led by students, powered by champions.
What if a car company didn't just build better cars, but help build something more, like community, family, futures? We're Honda, and we're building something more right here in Indiana.
Welcome back to Ben Davis High School. where the Warren Central Warriors and the Ben Davis Giants all knotted up at 17, giving us free football in overtime on the west side on the 95th Circle City Showdown as the Warren Central Warriors won the coin toss, elected to defend first. And Josh, here are the rules now for overtime. Both teams start on the 10-yard line. Both teams will have to go for 2 after, if we get to the third overtime period.
Yes.
And both teams get a chance to score as well. There is no first to score wins like you see in the NFL.
This is very similar to what you see in the college game, except the biggest difference is you start at the 10-yard line, so you are guaranteed 4 downs and 4 downs only, barring a penalty, unlike in college where you start at the opponent's 25-yard line.
Well, as Warren Central thought they had this thing wrapped up, they blocked a kick right before the end of the game, ended up having too many guys on the field with a late celebration with the ball not quite rolling out of bounds. The Warriors celebrate early, and it cost them as Fox stepped up and hit a crucial field goal to send this to overtime on his second attempt. Here we go, 1st and goal from the 10. Gibson with it again. Fake toss to Hassel, pushes left side, falls forward for a gain of 3 right at the 7-yard line.
Good job by Gibson getting every yard he could get on that scramble. I'm really interested to see the formation changes in this red zone here. You see a lot more 2-back sets in this fourth quarter with both Cushingberry and Hassel flanking Gibson, providing 3 very capable rushing threats.
Again, same formation. Gibson hands off to Hassel, and he will be brought down. Robledo first to hit him for only a gain of 1 at the 6.
So a big third down here, Logan. On the last series that before you had to settle for a field goal, you threw a fade route to Dalen Carnell, but Taz Relford making excellent coverage on that play. I'm almost curious, do you go back to Carnell, try to test out this Warren Central secondary, or do you just ground and pound and trust your offensive line?
Well, that is going to be the question. 6 yards to go for a score. 3rd down. Gibson looking, rolls right side, looking back the other way. Hassel wide open. Touchdown, Ben Davis. Hassel wheeling out of the backfield, fooling the Warren Central Warriors. And Ben Davis strikes here early in overtime action, fooling everyone.
I love this play call by Jason Simmons. The play was designed to go to the right. Everybody thought it was going to flood right, and that's why you saw the Warren Central defense flooding out that way. But look right here. Elijah Juan Hassel just slipping out of the backfield. No one counting him, and he's uncovered. And Ben Davis has a chance to come up here 7 and get the first punch in this overtime.
And again, here's Fox, 20-yard attempt for the PAT. Nearly blocked here, but going to be in. So 7 points go on the board there for Ben Davis. And we'll do it all over again as Warren Central going to go out offensively next, and they're going to have to match it. And we saw something similar to this and the Ben Davis Pike game as well, with playing with overtime and going for 2. You wonder if Warren Central scores. It might be a little too early to be talking about this, but if they score, they might look to go for 2.
Again, you don't want to count your chickens before they hatch, but if you're Warren Central, first things first, get the ball into the end zone. But second, if you do, that is going to be an interesting decision right here. I would almost venture to say, with this drive alone right here, you trust R.J. Wells, and it looks like with the offensive formation, you have the Wildcat formation that we saw in that first quarter that didn't really pay off too well for the Warriors.
Kobe Moore back on the sideline. Wells back running that Wildcat set. And like I said, didn't go well in those first couple plays of the game. Price goes in motion. Wells keeps it himself and just powers forward for a gain of 3.
Well, that's the man everybody is locking in on if you're the Ben Davis Giants. So if they're going to lock in on number 10, who else is going to step up for this Warren Central offense? You've seen some really excellent plays from Derek Allen Jr., who got that go-ahead touchdown late in the fourth quarter. You got Eli Price, who was always a big play threat with his speed.
Again, Wildcat formation for Wells. Price in motion. Wells again keeps it himself up the gut, gets down to the 5-yard line. Bring up 3rd down, 5 yards to go for a score. Very similar drive to what Ben Davis started with.
Certainly, Logan, and you see Kobe Moore and DeMarcus Brown about ready to check back into the ball game. So you have to think that the throw is certainly in play now that Moore is checking back in.
Well, you get 2 downs to get 6 as well if you're Warren Central. Field goal obviously doesn't cut it. 2 downs to get 5 yards if you're the Warren Central Warriors. As Moore is back out on the field in the shotgun set. Wells to his left in the backfield. And Moore keeps it himself. And he will be stood up by the Ben Davis defense after a gain of 2. 4th down coming for this Ben Davis Giant defense.
I actually don't mind the call there, Logan. You saw Kobe Moore call his own number late in the 4th quarter, and it caught the Ben Davis defense by surprise. So maybe Jason West was thinking that the same thing would happen here, but here we go. The game is on the line, and you see both teams are going to head back to their sidelines and talk things over.
And Warren Central taking that time out there. And like we said, this game could be coming down to this final play, ball on the 3-yard line. What a game this could be.
Oh, certainly, Logan. And meanwhile, while we have a quick break, we have another score update from around the MIC. Lawrence Central leading Pike 15-12 with 4:46 to go in the ball game. Meanwhile, you have another overtime game in the MIC. Carmel and Lawrence North are also knotted up at 17 apiece. So some late game dramatics going on in the conference, Logan. And man, this is just an outstanding week of MIC football.
Well, this is the 95th Circle City Showdown. And Warren Central, the #1 team in the state, on the ropes here in overtime. They need 3 yards, or else Ben Davis gets a win over their rival here at home. Looks to jumpstart their season. Kobe Moore out on the field in the shotgun says Derek Allen rushes off. A late man coming off, a little confusion out of the timeout for the Warriors. Allen gets off just in time as Moore's in the backfield. High snap, and now a timeout going to be called by Coach Simmons right before, as the Ben Davis defense looks a little frustrated with their coach. They thought they had that play very well scouted.
Well, certainly, Logan. I mean, it looked like Ben Davis was ready to, they were just ready to go and win the game right there, but looks like they're going to take a couple of moments there. Really interested in that 5-wide set there. Moore was all alone in the backfield, something we didn't really see throughout this ball game.
Well, the question is who's going to be the go-to guy for this Warren Central Warrior team, as saw Derek Allen, one of the final guys to get off the field, as he's been one of the most explosive receivers and sure-handed receivers as well for the Warriors. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets back out onto the field for this set or not.
And off screen, Allen is just walking around the track right now, nowhere near the offensive huddle. So he's clearly frustrated. He's not in this ball game right now, and you almost have to wonder, like, the decision that went into Coach West not putting him out on the field.
Well, once again, 4th and 3. 3 yards to that end zone, and that's what Warren Central needs. The Giants looking to get a big 4th down stop. They played well all night long.
It looks like they're going back to the Wildcat set, too.
Absolutely, as Wells will be the man to take the snap. Price lined up, ready to go in motion.
The last 2 times, Wells took it himself. This time he's going to throw it.
It's a jump pass to Clark, who's in for 6. Touchdown, Warren Central.
You knew something different was going to happen here.
You knew the jump pass was coming.
Well, not necessarily the jump pass, but just some sort of wrinkle, because Wells took the direct handoff up the middle the first 2 times. So you were expecting either a rush by Eli Price on the jet sweep, or, like you said, that jump pass to Michael Clark.
Clark with the 3-yard score from Randy Wells will keep Warren Central in this game.
Well, here comes the all-important extra point, too.
And that answers the decision for us about going for 2. Jackson out there. Wellman snaps to Tavernier. Jackson gets it up, and that is in as well. So 24-24 is your score. Let's head to double overtime.
Yes, sir. Let's do it all over again. So we're going to flip the possessions this time. Warren Central's going to get it again. This time they're going to start on their own 10-yard line once again, and then Ben Davis will have a chance to respond themselves.
And by doing this, you got to think this almost favors Ben Davis, as they scored with a little bit more ease than the Warren Central Warriors did in close quarters.
Certainly, Logan. And like we said, R.J. Wells was the guy that was keyed in that entire series. You saw right there, Ben Davis, those linebackers froze for a second because they were locked in to go get that stop. But because of that, R.J. Wells was able to get a nice little push pass to Michael Clark and tie up this ball game.
Boise State-esque, and it worked for the Warren Central Warriors. Both teams pulling out a little bit of trickery with Olajuwon Hassel rolling out of that backfield. They moved the pocket to the right, went back to the left to him, and then, like you said, a little push pass there from Wells as Kobe Moore comes back out onto the field. Ball on the 10-yard line. Let's do it again as Warren Central getting ready to start this second overtime action, as it doesn't get much better than this. And you knew from the start of this game we were going to get a good one.
Oh, absolutely, Logan. I mean, we said it time and time again. You throw out the records in a ball game like this. Throw out your past, because all that matters is your rival that's playing across from you.
Moore in the shotgun. Looks right. Quick pass. Right underneath. Down at the 5-yard line, as it looks like they went right back to Clark in the middle of the field.
Saw Cameron Kelly getting in at the end there, trying to go for the strip there. I mean, that's not a bad idea, but you got to make sure you get the man down to the turf, especially a guy as big as Michael Clark.
Ball on the 5-yard line, second down. As once again, Moore going out of the shotgun set. Haven't seen the Wildcat in this formation. Moore looking left side, throws one up, it's tipped, and it's intercepted in the back of the end zone. Intercepted in the back of the end zone. Dalen Carnell comes up with it. Interception there, as Ben Davis now just needs a field goal to win this ball game.
How about Dalen Carnell piling on the carnage, this time coming away with an interception. Remember, in the end of the first half, he had a chance to get an interception. This time, he's able to come down with it, and the Giants are in position to get their first win over Warren Central since 2017.
Right there, what a tip there from Knuckles. Was looking for Price and wasn't there, and Carnell getting that one, and we'll see how much offense is run here by the Giants. They only need 3 to score, or excuse me, to win, but might be looking for 6. 4 downs to do it. Ball security key.
Certainly, and if you're Ben Davis, you just want to keep the ball as close to the middle as possible.
And there's Cushenberry as he falls backwards, loss of 2. Drops to the 12 as Robledo gets in on the tackle.
I would almost run one more play here, just get it inside the 10, closer to the middle of the field, send Zach Fox out to win this game.
Pressure time is on here. And it looks like the Giants offense staying out on the field. Gibson getting that play call from Coach Simmons in the sideline. And again, Hassel and Cushenberry in the backfield with Gibson.
You know, every single white shirt is going to go for that ball. Just secure the football.
And there's Hassel again. Works his way up to the 7-yard line. Now bring up 3rd down. As Coach Simmons over there talking to Zach Fox, I think asking him, where do you want it?
Certainly, and like we said, both of his made field goals were made in the center of the field. The one he did miss was towards the left hash mark. So if you're Ben Davis, you want to get that ball towards the middle of the field on this play, regardless of the yard outcome.
Gibson set to take this one. 3rd down, ball on the 7-yard line. And again, it's Gibson running, and he just dives forward down at the 9-yard line, but he gets it centered up for the senior, Zach Fox, to come out and end this game for the Ben Davis Giants. Now remember, he already had 1 kick blocked tonight. He missed one earlier in the game. This is not a sure shot yet.
Of course, and it comes down to just having a clean operation. Remember, it's the transaction between the long snapper, the holder, and Zach Fox.
Kelly the long snapper, Peters the holder. Here comes a 27-yard attempt, straight on. Snaps good, holds good, kick is up, and the kick is good! The Ben Davis Giants have knocked off the Warren Central Warriors in double overtime, 27-24. Fox with the game-winning 27-yard field goal. as the celebration begins for the West Side. Ben Davis avenging the losses from last year and doing it in style. Double overtime action. The Ben Davis Giants are back.
The Ben Davis Giants are back indeed, Logan. My goodness, what a fantastic finish to this ball game. And this is exactly what head coach Jason Simmons needed. Even imploring his guys to just stick through the process, to just put your earmuffs on, block out all the outside noise, and just go to work. You heard all week, you heard all speculation about how close this ball game would be. I'm sure the Ben Davis players were hearing it from their classmates and their peers. Is this game going to be a blowout? How much is Warren Central going to beat you by? But the Giants, despite the turnovers, despite the miscues, they find a way to pull out this ball game.
That is why you play the game right there. Ben Davis Giants. What looked like all hope was lost, get a late penalty for an early celebration from the Warren Central Warriors. Forces a second attempt at what was a game-tying field goal by Zach Fox to end regulation. And it was all Ben Davis from there in overtime as the Giants bring home the victory 27-24 in double overtime. What a play here, as this one was a whole lot of fun as these guys got it done, and you gotta love it here for the Ben Davis Giants, really catapulting their season here with a victory over the Warren Central Warriors.
Most definitely, Logan. This is exactly the win that Coach Simmons needed to rally his guys for the second half of this year. You got some tough opponents coming along the rest of the way. You have a very difficult sectional coming up back on the west side, playing some west side opponents. And this is just, again, an outstanding ball game by Coach Simmons and company, able to come away with a win tonight.
Absolutely, and these two teams have absolutely come to terms here on what was a great rivalry night, the 95th Circle City Showdown, and hard to believe that it's finally over. I felt like this game was going to go on forever.
It really did. I mean, just thinking about the game in regulation, that game was a really fast-paced game. Fast-paced game. I mean, by the time regulation ended, it was a little bit after 9. You know, typically games last until 9:30. But, man, this was just a fantastic game all around. I mean, like I said, it wasn't pretty all night. Lots of turnovers on both sides. Ben Davis coughed it up 4 times. Warren Central coughed it up 3 times themselves. But, you know, at the end of the day, it just came down to who was going to execute, make their plays for their squad. And it was Ben Davis and, in particular, Dalen Carnell.
Absolutely. You take a look at some of these highlights. You got to think you're going to see a lot of Dalen Carnell, who really resurrected the Giants there at the end, making some big-time plays to push this game into even an overtime setting. And how about, we talked about the resilience of the Warriors, how about the resilience of the Giants?
My goodness, man. You could point to any of the Giants on this squad. You could point to Trent Gibson shaking off a few turnovers himself. He had a costly fumble in that fourth quarter that led to Warren Central regaining the lead near the end of the fourth quarter. How about Elijah Juan Hassel just having a bunch of carries? You know, the holes weren't there for him all night, but he just stuck the course, was able to find his way to the end zone, including for a touchdown in that first overtime. And then, of course, Dalen Carnell, the man himself, doing it all on both sides of the field, deflecting passes from Warren Central and bringing in critical balls to have Ben Davis tie this game up at the end of regulation.
And there was Hassel getting that overtime touchdown there, and you gotta love the little bit of trickery coming out from Coach Simmons there at the very end and making it happen. But it was the interception by Dalen Carnell in that second overtime that made it happen for the Giants. Often comes up with the big play, and gosh, you would love to sit in there on that speech and what Coach Simmons is preaching to those guys, letting them know that you have to fight through the adversity, you have to fight through the ownership that they took from last year, and this victory has to feel a little bit special for them.
Oh, certainly. Certainly. And meanwhile, for Warren Central, like, how big of a heartbreaker is this? You had the game in your hand. If it wasn't for the antics of some guys just running on the sideline or running out off the sideline during that blocked field goal attempt, they would have come away with another win tonight and just would have been able to move on with their season. But now you go back to the drawing board. You got to wonder, like, where did those mistakes come in? And, you know, those mistakes seem even heavier now that they came up on the short side this time.
Absolutely, and it's a heartbreak for Warren Central, but absolute celebration for Ben Davis. As we know, Tyler Locke's down there. We have to give it to him on our MIC Network player of the game. Tyler, go ahead and take it away. As he's going to get to him in just a second as well. And once again, we talked about a drawn-out game. How about drawn-out? Getting to the player of the game himself, going to be Dalen Carnell for the Ben Davis Giants. Can't think of anyone else more suited for it.
I'm standing here with our MIG Network player of the game, Ben Davis wide receiver Dalen Carnell. First of all, congratulations on that win. First question I want to ask you, it was a shaky game at the beginning, but you guys were able to pull through and get this win. What can you say about the team's overall performance tonight?
Our overall performance, we had a shaky start, but we always persevered. We talked about that all week, consistency all week. We knew we were going to face adversity. It was all about how we responded, and we responded tonight.
What can you say about the way the defense performed, especially down there on the other side of the end zone, and getting that interception that ended up being the factor in winning this game for you guys?
I'm the one that gave up that touchdown in the first overtime at corner. And then I came back. I told my team I got them. I owed them one. So I got the pick, sealed the game. Our kicker, Zach Fox, he sealed the game for us and got that kick to win us the game.
They say big-time players make big-time plays and big-time games. That was you tonight. What can you say about the way you performed?
I feel like I played pretty well. I can always improve. I was saying that all game to all our players. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, and the whole team made big plays all throughout the game.
Last question for you. How does it feel to get this big win and upset over your rival tonight?
It feels good. We know we were the underdog, so we had that chip on our shoulder all week. We practiced hard all week. It translated to the game. It feels good. We're going to carry this over to the next game and get some more W's.
It definitely translated into this game, and it led you guys to a big win. Dalen, congratulations on the win. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you, sir.
That was Dalen Carnell, our MIG Network player of the game. Guys, we're going to send it back to you one more time tonight.
Thank you, Tyler. And once again, congratulations to Dalen Carnell, the most suited player out there to get the MIG Network player of the game. Can't think of another guy that really deserved it for the Ben Davis Giants, a guy that just took over the ball game.
Oh, certainly. He was, like we said, Logan, he was just doing it on all ends of the field tonight, offensively and defensively. And like Tyler was asking him, when the game was on the line, Dalen was just able to make a play. He was able to come away with some critical catches towards the end of regulation to force OT. He came up with that game-winning interception that led to a game-winning field goal, and just, man, the future was really bright for this guy. I was really high on him to begin with in the year, and we're seeing it finally play out as he led the Giants to a win.
Absolutely. Giants moving to 2-3 on the season and getting another win in the Mid-Conference. The Warren Central Warriors dropping to 3-2 now. First loss in conference as well, as we're going to be back on the road again next week. Center Grove at Lawrence Central. That will be the matchup. The Trojans right now locked in a tough one with the North Central Panthers, and Lawrence Central as well locked in a tough one with the Pike Red Devils. It's been a great week so far for football, and we're looking for an exciting week next week as well, Josh.
Oh, certainly, Logan. And you have so much talent across the board, you know, despite the fact that you don't have like the 4- and the 5-star recruits that we've typically seen in the MIC. There's still a lot of really healthy competition out there, as we have seen tonight. We're going to see another fantastic ball game between Eric Moore and the Lawrence Central Bears next week. Yeah, Rodenberg, correct, yes.
Exactly, as there's a lot of parity and a whole lot of fun. Double overtime victory for the Ben Davis Giants as they take this one home against the Warren Central Warriors. We want to thank everyone that makes this production possible, from all of our partners to Front Runner Media, as well to Ben Davis High School as being fantastic hosts. That's going to do it for us, though, here on the MIC Network. Ben Davis Giants come out on top over the Warren Central Warriors in your MIC Network Game of the Week.
The MIC Network Game of the Week is presented by Papa John's, the Indianapolis Marriott East Center, Brand Visions, and Front Runner Media.